guess I should go and see if anybody's actually watching us.
We do have Robert Monroe, Bernie.
My God, I almost got
Sir
that
George,
all over
Tommy
me.
Adams.
Oh, so holy shit! Did you hear Bernie freaking flip out that it's Bernie? It's not Bernie, and I'm like, Bernie, I've been calling you that for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, locally I call him Bernie, but like here it's.
I don't change that now.
No, you can't. It's too long.
So you're stuck with it, Bernie. Ooh, who's got their YouTube going? Oh, that's probably me. No, it's not me.
Okay.
I got it taken care of.
Cool.
Okay.
Hi, live audience.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. Oh, I've missed you all so much. So much. It's really hard to like look in a mirror and talk to yourself instead of looking at a live screen like this and knowing people are listening to you other than your dog. Because my dog is not impressed with me very much, so I'm
Okay, Tyler says I played till 8:40. You all know this. No.
Oh, he said he'll be there in 15-ish minutes. So I said, cool. We went live. So what? We'll pre-show for 15-ish minutes and actually start the cast when he gets in.
It's literally 8:30. We don't ever start at 8:30.
I know.
I mean,
we're even ahead of.
I'm usually a beer down. Hey, everyone! If you haven't noticed, we have somebody new right here. He's right here. Mr. Kevin Eide. Say hello, Kevin.
Hey, X-Wing community. This is Kevin Eide. I have one claim to fame in this community, and that's I sired my son Nathan.
Some of us applaud you. Some of us curse you.
Hey, I've seen your name on stream games and near top tables before.
I've seen you up in the top like 32.
Yeah, I had one really good run last year, but that's all because Nathan made my list and he coached me on it, on how to play it.
That was the Kanan Ezra Lowrick, right?
Yeah, that was the we called it the Ghosty Ghost list. You just ghosty ghost up to somebody and roll 6 dice and one-shot defenders. So,
hey, you could be like Mark and I and have played the game since its inception. And thank God Mark finally topped that top 32 because I'm still waiting.
So, Kevin, how do you get your son to help you? Because mine always says, Dad, you probably won't understand this.
Well, you see, the difference is your son is economically independent, or at least I assume he is.
That's true. That's true.
So if my son wants to continue to participate in things, he needs my participation in some things. So
the minute he's out the door, Kevin's rank's just gonna go down.
That's exactly right.
Oh man, Coach, you see those curtains that Kevin's got there? Some Packers.
Yeah, that's my homemade Packer curtains over there.
Hey, go Pack, go.
Yes.
Go Pack, go.
Yeah, so, Nathan is actually going to be moving out in the fall. He's going to be going to college.
Oh, man, what college?
So, well, he got accepted in MSOE, that's Milwaukee School of Engineering, and UWM, and I think he's leaning towards UW Milwaukee.
Cool.
So, yeah, so...
Iowa State has an excellent engineering program.
The world needs more engineers.
So it's been interesting because I remember when he was interviewed when he was super young, when he I don't know, one of the 2 times that he did well in Worlds, and he was being interviewed by some, and they're like, how come you're doing so good? And his answer was so purely naive. It was great. He's like, well, I'm a kid, so all I have to do is play this game. And I don't have any responsibilities. So as he's been kind of growing in his responsibilities, he's had less X-Wing time.
I don't need to do anything else.
Yeah.
All I can do is play X-Wing.
It's actually out on YouTube. It's pretty hilarious. He looks like he looks like he's 12 because I think he is at the time. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I was listening to that, going, yeah, that's true. He doesn't do anything but that.
Well, I think this is going to be a great episode. I really want to dive into, one, the fact is the 2 of your sons are probably the top, 10 players in the entire world?
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Scary, isn't it?
I think I'd even say top eked his way. I mean, he was always having that. He just needed to get that win, and then he was there, and I think he got it. So Nathan's been there forever. Ever since I've been in competitive X-Wing, it's always, oh, did you hear about this kid Nathan Eide? And I'm like, I think I saw him once.
You know, it was really funny. This last year, Nathan had got the flu really bad, and you know, I'm usually like, just rub some dirt in it. And well, finally, after he was sick for quite a while, my wife took him to the doctor. And so he went to see the doctor, and, you know, the doctor did the doctor stuff and swabbed his throat to make sure it wasn't whatever. They did their thing. And then he was just feeling really bad. And she comes back in and says, can you just wait a minute? I want you to just stay here for a little bit. And she comes back out, and she said, there's somebody else who wants to talk to you. And so this other doctor comes in the room after like a 5-minute wait, and Nathan is just like ready to puke, just miserable. He just wants to leave. And this other doctor comes in and says, I saw your name and you play X-Wing, and I saw you, and I really wanted to meet you. And
Oh
so
my God.
This doctor comes in, it's like wanting to meet. It was so out of control. It was pretty ridiculous.
Damn it.
You might need to
save that for the show.
No, he has to say that again for the actual podcast when we start that. That's too good.
Yes. Yeah, that's excellent.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, like, wow, this doctor kind of needs other.
All right,
things to do.
that's X-Wing famous. Right?
Yeah, famous in like the super narrow niche of life, you know.
You know, when you're a rock star, you're a rock star, and you'll get fans and groupies from everywhere.
Mhm.
Yeah,
True that, right, Mark?
Apparently, I feel like the guys on the Dooney Brothers last night. The best line was, "We're going to do a song off of our album we did in 1970," and I'm 70, so I guess I made it.
I'm so pissed at you. I fucking love the Doobie Brothers. Oh,
you know, I had so much fun sitting next to Papa Tippett in that last game. That was great. I really enjoyed that.
I kind of wish Dion would have had an extra tape recorder, because I thought we had a pretty in-depth discussion a couple of times.
Yeah, it could have been like he could have had his little live commentary, and then later it could be the spliced in Dad's commentary.
he should have just taken a break and be like, "Here you go, boys. Put the headphones on.
You know, like when Nathan made the bad move and lost Nora, I could be like, "You're grounded."
Which was
Mark tell Tyler he's grounded.
which is second best to hearing Trisha go, "He just landed on a rock. That's bad, right?"
I was gonna look that up and try to find that specific moment where you said he just shook his head, but I don't think it was on stream. So,
What was the first thing I said, Kevin, when he took his hat off?
Yeah.
Did you hear me, Kevin?
we've never seen that.
You broke up a little bit. I just.
Oh, okay. What was the first thing I said when he took his hat off?
The first thing you said?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that I remember.
I've never seen him take his hat off.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, and that was my comment further away. Like, I was playing the hyperspace game, and I'm like, he's got his hat off. This must be really serious.
Well, you know, it was so great because I you know, as much as I, of course, wanted Nathan to win, I was really, truly happy for Tyler, because he's been so close for so long, and he's so good. And I remember, it was funny because Nathan told me the night before that Nathan didn't face a single Phantom list in the Swiss.
How?
He didn't face a single one, and he knew that was going to be a challenging list for him going in when he was trying to decide between two different lists to play. And so he faced one, I think, in the top 8 or something, and he beat it. Of course, because that's why he was facing Tyler. But then, he came to me right before the Tyler game, and he looked at me and he's like, this, I could fly this perfectly. And it's probably not going to end well because a 4 Phantom list flown by Tyler is different than a 4 Phantom list flown by anyone else in the game.
Yeah.
And, he was right. And I actually thought Nathan range controlled those Phantoms with Han. I mean, Han had like 1 shield and 2 hull or whatever for like an hour. He did a marvelous job, but it was Tyler's been flying swarms forever, and he's so good at it. So it was good. The right thing happened.
This is great. We're not gonna have anything to talk to about during the podcast.
Oh, have you started broadcasting yet? Or no?
Here's the weird thing we do. So a long time ago, I can't remember if it was Dion or if it was Farmer. And he's like, "You guys should do a live show," and I'm like, "That's a terrible idea."
But you did.
Fuck it, we'll try it anyway. So we did it, and so we do this live every Wednesday night, and so we always start the broadcast for the dedicated few that tune in every Wednesday night, and we do like a little green room. We get to know the new guests. And
so that's what this is right now. We're in the green room.
Yeah,
but we're in the green room right now.
The green room,
literally everything we just talked about was everything we were gonna save. For
all right, well, we can repeat it.
Oh yeah, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
Like at this point, the green room's extending its time until Tyler shows up.
But it's not like we don't have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, holy balls, do we have a lot to talk about?
Yeah, I'm gonna pop off for one last second here. I want to grab something.
Sure.
As long as it's an alcoholic drink. So, yeah, that's funny. all the best stories come out in the green room.
Oh yeah, it's always the commercial breaks. That's what Gordon always says. Just start recording immediately.
Whoa, who's this new guy? Miken?
He hasn't shown up. That's hold on. He's in our OCX chat already. It's Justin or Ed LeBaum.
It's Baum. Lip Baum.
LeBaum.
Huh.
Ed.
Is it weird that I can notice new people by either the color of their meeple or it's like, hey, I've never seen that one before.
Yeah, that's the little picture.
The rest of you, I just
excuse me.
Good one.
Whoa. I'll give that a 7.5.
So the burger place is in full swing.
Oh boy, how is it?
He's literally ran out of food every single night he's been open. It's fantastic. It's like, it's so good. It's fresh hamburger, and they just press the bacon bits inside the hamburger, and it doesn't look pretty, but it's so good. But yeah, FFG South is now official.
Oh yeah, because you actually
don't remember, Coach. Do you know when you have? I do know, and I do know when. I do. Wait, do you know if? Yes. When? Yes. September 14th is the OC Games and Comics Hyperspace Trial.
Oh man.
I feel like I have so many goodies at this one. I
feel like I have to make an attempt.
We are closing the burger store, but the grill is still going to be open.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't think this is going to be a 30-person hyperspace trial.
Are you capping it?
Well, I don't know. We'll see. I can fit 60, I think. I mean, that's literally moving everything out and the whole thing. September 14th. Fucking Aaron Bonner. Looking at you, Aaron. I tried to snag the last date, right before it's comfortable enough before Worlds, mid-September. That should be good enough. No. Sparta Games has to go September 28th or something like that. I'm like, you sons of bitches. But no, September 14th in Orange City. The plans are, as of right now, to have it in the store and the burger joint. If we get bigger, I have a deal worked out with my local golf course for the event hall to have a full bar. Metro Burger will still provide food, and I can fit a lot more. So if it gets that big, then
Audience, make it that big. He set a full bar. He set a full bar.
Okay, so here's a tip. Here's a tip. If you live in, or if you can get to Chicago, there's a small double prop airplane that leaves every day from Chicago and flies to Fort Dodge. They fly to Fort Dodge, which is about an hour and a half away. I will come pick you up. I have a friend that owns a limo, and I might drive the limo there and pick everybody up. Either that or flying to Sioux Falls. It's much easier. So, but
I was wondering
it will
about
be
that.
fantastic. We're gonna. I'm trying to debate on how I want to do it, right? Because it seems like, you do the 2-day thing, and you're like, the cut's on Sunday, and then you got to leave right after the cut kind of thing. I thought, what if you did 3 rounds Friday night of the Swiss, and then finish the whole thing out Saturday?
Don't know.
I don't know. I thought about that, and I was like, yeah, but people who want to drive in have to take Friday off and get there. And
So where's it held?
it's kind of I don't know. Orange City, Iowa. We're in the northwest corner of Iowa.
Northwest.
Go right all the way up to the little corner, and that's where it is.
If you take Interstate 90 and go all the way west till you hit Worthington, and then you go down about 40 minutes, and then you're there.
Tyler's booting up.
Yay! But anyway, I had that thought, for local hyperspace trials, why wouldn't you do start Friday night at 7 and do 3 rounds of Swiss, and then come back Saturday at 10, do the other 3, cut to the top, and you're done. Everyone's done by 5.
I know Stomping Grounds, which is the other Michigan one, which apparently is also September 14th.
Oh,
Padres trials at the same time.
Stomping Grounds.
They're doing kind of like what Gold Squad did last year for the regional, which is Friday we will take X, however many people want to show up to do the trial, and then Saturday, and then out of those 2, take their top whatever for the total into Sunday. They're doing a 3-day thing, just so that Friday can be for the more locals.
The local,
and then
I like that
Saturday
idea.
could be for the people out of town, and then cut Sunday. Unless
can you do that though? I mean, is that a fair?
That's how they proposed it to FFG, and they got it. So,
So I just looked up Orange City, Iowa on Google Maps. And the picture that came up is a pasture with a hut on a stick road and a cow. And it says there's it's a population of 6,000.
Yeah. I don't get it either, man.
Everything's subterranean.
And there's a game store there.
There's a game store.
and it has a hyperspace trial.
That said something about X-Wing that's pretty cool.
It's behind the cow.
Yes, we are massively outnumbered by cows and sheep and pigs. And
Padre says 6,000 cows.
No. I started this game store just so I can have more people to play X-Wing with, which is a bad idea. Don't do that.
But you
For
did
anyone thinking of starting a game store, it's a bad idea.
Tyler's wearing no CX shirt.
What? Oh my God, the OG.
And he cut off the sleeves.
Yeah, I told him he could.
Yeah,
okay.
Of course he's trying to show off his volleyball pipes.
Maybe we in?
Yay!
Hey, my headset. Mother. Can you hear me?
We hear you.
We
yes.
can hear you. Yes, we can hear
I
you.
just need to order another G17. Give me a second. Amazon.
That sounds like an airplane.
Sounds like a headset.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the battery's finally dying, and it's like 6 years old. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's solid.
Do you literally play volleyball in your OCX shirt?
No, I was gonna say I finally modified it so it fit.
And they were like, "Oh my god, he cut the sleeves off," and I says, "No, he can do that." I told him he could do that.
Well, no, because you gave me a medium. Like you were like, "I've only got a medium, but this will be fine." I was like, "Oh, maybe."
You don't wear any other shirts than medium. I mean, you're Mr. Midriff himself.
You're not wrong. Those are just all larges, I promise.
As long as you didn't cut little slits and make it frilly on the back, that's on the back. Before we get into the X-Wing stuff, when the fuck is Charlie Third Lance gonna run their damn mission?
Okay, so
just do it. Just do it yourself, Tyler.
No, I'm gonna do it. I was gonna do it Saturday. And then how much like non-content do you care about having? Because I have a great story about Karen, the legend of Karen, actually.
This sounds like a great shit show conversation.
Okay,
yes. So you just let me know when you'd like to hear the legend of Karen, and I
want to hear the legend of Karen, but
radio is blowing my phone up.
What's that?
I thought the groupies was bad.
Yeah, you thought the groupies was bad. Disconnect from Discord. That's just mute. Just mute the whole fucking thing.
What I do is I go notifications and only tell it to tell me things when they want to get to me. They have to at me.
Yep, 100%.
Yep. And all right. Well, now that we have everybody here, I think we can finally start the show. Now that all the good content is already discussed. Kevin hasn't quite understood the whole green room show hasn't officially started thing.
Yeah, I was like burning my best content before we even started.
Don't worry, we can do it again.
We can do it again. That's fine. All right. Intro start in 22:30. Burp. There we go. Good morning, X-Wing! Hey, this is not a test. This is OCX Radio. Time to rocket from the Delta Pilot to the 4BZ. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the OCX Radio Podcast, broadcasting live from the OCX studios in beautiful downtown Orange City, Iowa, where cows outnumber human beings, thanks to Google. My name is Aaron the Coach Kroll, and joining me tonight, the one, the only ace of legend, Ryan Ontopsky.
More waves have been shown, and plenty of things from Celebration. Oh, my mind.
His mind is blown. Also joining us tonight, 487 miles to my left, Uncle Mark Tippett.
When I see phantoms, it always brings me down. I see it right there, then it disappears out of sight. They can decloak to the left or decloak to the right. But it doesn't matter because they disappear out of sight. Hi, guys.
Yeah, golf clap.
Apologies to Dio and Butterfly Rainbows in the Dark.
Joining us once again, it is System Open champion, none other than Tyler Starslayer72 Tippett.
Woo! Hey, what's up, guys? How are we doing tonight?
Drinking.
Fantastic.
I have Wednesday is my one night that I get to drink, so I have some nice summer shandy from Line and Kugel.
There you go.
There you go, bringing in the winter.
Back on the shelves.
It's a good way to go. You cannot go wrong with the old summer shandy because, man, do we need summer?
Yeah.
I am fucking sick and tired of winter right now.
Mm-hmm.
And winter 2.0.
Oh, yeah. Second winter, apparently, is what they like to call it. But I don't need to tell our next guest, first-timer, Mr. Kevin Eide, about second winters all the way up in Wisconsin. Do I, Kevin?
Yeah, it's been pretty brutal up here, but we've survived.
Ladies and gentlemen,
thank you for having me.
Brand new to the show, Kevin Eide, top, 1,462nd player in the X-Wing rankings. Congratulations.
Arbitrary numbers.
We tell, OCX is always we get everybody on the show. We don't care who you are. Unfortunately, you're not everybody because what is your claim to fame, Kevin?
Well, in this niche, my claim to fame is siring Nathan.
And for those of you who have no idea who he's talking about, that is the one, the only Nathan Eide.
If you're listening, how do you not know? What?
Well, you never know, man. I mean, OCX is pretty broad. We attract some weird people sometimes.
I think this is where Kevin should tell the doctor story.
Well, wow, that was a terrible lead-in, but I was getting there.
All
right.
fine.
We'll get there when it's natural.
The word is segue.
So, one, I don't want to take away from Kevin Eide's accomplishments because I'm pretty sure he worked really, really hard to make Nathan Eide.
Well,
damn it.
All right. Well, since this is probably a little, NSFW,
this is all NSFW.
Okay.
Oh no.
So the crates, and the crates have the on top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crates on top, whatever. And they were trying to get Nathan into their little posse and et cetera. And so finally, when Nathan started wearing the crate T-shirt and it was crates on top, and I'm like, well, that's right, Nathan, because that's how you were made.
Why haven't we had this man on?
And let's just say he went completely silent and turned a couple of shades of red and didn't really know what to say. And I think that was like the biggest overshare of his life.
No comment.
Yeah.
On top as a whole new.
Oh boy.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the OCX Radio Podcast.
Boy,
Kevin Eide is officially my new favorite guest. Well, if you've been hiding underneath a rock and you're wondering why do we have this strange array of guests on our show, if you missed out on Adepticon 2019, you missed out on number one, probably the greatest final showdown ever between two of the premier players in X-Wing, Mr. Nathan Eide and our very own Tyler Tippett. And tonight we have both the fathers of Nathan Eide and Tyler Tippett on tonight. And so what are we calling this, Topsky? The proud dads?
Pops on Pops?
Proud people that sired X-Wing greatness?
Living vicariously through our children.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Hey, now, I have to point out, this has to be the proud son moment, is even though I was able to finish top of Adepticon, Dad actually came in 32nd and was able to get his R2 tokens as well.
Right?
Very nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Which was
past Sarah.
Which was magical considering somebody screwed up entering his scores and going into round 5. He had 200 MOV with 3 wins.
What? I did not hear that one.
Yeah, I'm just like, he's won one more than one game, right? And everyone's like, yes. I was like,
That doesn't sound right.
240 MOV or something like that in round 5.
The scores went in as I got beat 1,181 to 180.
Yeah.
So we got that changed.
Jesus. But no, that was, and I know we've already told the story, but I'm going to tell it again. It was just the excitement on Mark's face because he's, I'm top 32. I made the cut. It was like, yes, you made the cut, but you don't play tomorrow.
I don't care.
Right? That's 100%.
Mm-hmm. There were 200. There were over 250 people, and you were top 32. Don't take that. No one can take that away from you.
264 players.
Something like that, yeah.
And that is a hell of an accomplishment, Mark.
Yep, that's fabulous. That's fabulous. And doing it while drinking dry whiskey,
Well, shit. He can fly those Y-wings past. I mean,
he has new Y-wings he gets to buy. Like he gets to go back. Like he has another faction of Y-wings.
Yes.
So are we plugging the Uncle Mark GoFundMe 6 Y-Wings for the Galactic Republic?
Well, I mean, we might plug a couple of GoFundMes, but we'll get to that later.
Thank you, Harold Larson.
All right.
Kevin, did you play an Adepticon or no?
Yeah, I did. I actually was doing really well. I was 4-1, and I actually defeated Francois from Chicago, who's a really good player.
Yeah.
I felt kind of bad because I was his second loss, and then he was out, and he's way better, and he deserved to go. And then I forget what it was. It was whatever. I thought going into my last match or second to last match, I just absolutely got frog stomped by that Han that can drop anywhere on the board and a
I was gonna say,
the Han Poe. Yeah.
And
did you get beat by a Frenchman? Is that what you got?
and then he had this Poe that had like 19 cards on it. And
oh yeah.
So anyways, I got turned around. But anyways,
4-2 is nothing.
We just kind of
that's pretty good.
Last year I was actually a die roll away from top 8 with that ghost list.
Yeah.
I started to fly really bad near the end, and after time was called, he had a hit crit, and the crit was a double damage on the ghost, which at that double damage gave him half health, and he won by 4 points.
Wow.
So I missed top 8 with that, but that's probably my best.
That is a killer.
What did you fly this year, Adepticon?
I flew a list that Nathan put together. It was a quick draw. It was 3 ties, so it was quick draw, Scorch, and backdraft, and General Tav with Phasma Honor.
Did you hear that, Tyler? His son puts lists together for him.
I mean, I told you to get off Y-wings or ions and go to Drea and whatever blaster turrets or whatever they are.
Dorsal.
Sure.
Yeah.
I take full credit as well.
Nathan actually playtests the list.
I leave all Y-wing piloting to my dad. That's what he does.
Hey, he's about to have an Anakin at I-6 Y-wing.
Right?
Yeah, the fuck?
We'll
get into that.
That's a scary proton torpedo.
That's just weird. Okay, so I want to fast forward all of Adepticon. It comes down to like a grueling, literally 2 days for both Nathan and Tyler. So much X-Wing. So I can't even fathom it.
I want to point out too that we got there on like Thursday, right? Like Thursday after evening to which I moved a bunch of furniture to Trisha's place because she was moving to Michigan. So I had to get a bunch of bookshelves and whatnot. So I spent my whole day moving shit in a U-Haul and then unloading. Get there, don't play any X-Wing, and then everyone's like, let's go to this random pizza place that I then get pseudo food poisoning from and shit my brains out from like 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. And I don't sleep all night because I have stomach cramps. Then I go into playing all day Friday. So now proceed.
It's Michael Jordan of X-Wing.
So we finish day 1, and I'm like 5-1, and they're like, what are we going to get to eat? We should go here. And I was like, I'm going to Noodles and Company. And I'm getting butter noodles, and you guys do what you want. But that's the only thing I'm eating. Yeah.
I'm going to go safe. Yeah, so weird story. I didn't know you guys were literally on your way to that pizza place.
Right, of which you left the stupid pizza place 5 minutes before we got there.
I'm like, we were all in the same fucking chat group. I mean,
you can probably blame Fleming because he heard the words house and poker and was like, let's go.
Man.
That's fair.
Holy shit. Okay, Ryan Fleming, okay, I get it. Like, you like poker, but he heard poker and he's like, tab, checks for everybody. Let's go. And I'm like, I mean, a guy forgot his hat there. It was like, we left so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right. That sucks, man. That would have been a great picture with the rest of the crew there.
It was a great picture. We were sitting in the same seats.
Yeah, we were in the same seats even.
Photoshop.
Right?
Photoshop. Yeah. Oh, that was a good time. I did not know that you had the whole
Yeah. It was not a good
extracurricular
night.
activity going on.
And they got there, and Google took me through like 33 different residential districts.
We're like, we just get on the interstate. It's like a 10-minute drive. We get there 20 minutes later. Dad rolls in. Like, dude, where have you been? When did you get here? Like, our pizza's done. Where did you drive?
Everywhere.
He had a bunch of way stations along the way.
He had "Please never take me on an interstate" selected on Google Maps.
Oh no! I do not want the direct route.
Well, my guess is probably like, don't toll road me, and then yeah.
That's the one problem. There is that toll road really makes things difficult.
Yep. But yeah, so we get to like what finals? Because I was like so Nathan's top 4 game. Kevin, do you know like how I haven't got to watch it yet because that's actually on Gold Squadron stream. How quick did that game go?
I only saw the parts of it, so I know it was. I don't think it took the whole time.
No, it didn't. Yeah,
there were a couple points. I think when Nathan told me that were a little, potentially a little sketchy for him, but other than that, I think it was all right. Yeah,
well, I felt like he would. I mean, having seen the other games on YouTube and playing, like I feel like he was probably in command because it was like what 2 B wings, 2 U wings, and I don't see that being able to handle Nathan's list in any world.
So Tyler, did you know that he did not face a Phantom list all the way through Swiss?
Who didn't? Oh, he faced him in the cut, not in Swiss though.
He faced him in the top 8.
Yeah.
But how, again, how?
Well, there was only like 23 Phantom lists there out of 265, and Nathan was 6-0. Like, he was undefeated, and a lot of the Phantom lists had 1 early loss. So a lot of our Phantoms came in 5-1.
Okay.
So he just got out in front of the Phantom lists and then never saw them.
Plowed himself in front of the road. He's like,
yeah. Well, because like talking to the Phantom players, we basically all were each other's 1 loss. Like, it was all Phantom mirrors that like basically knocked out people.
Yeah, because I walked up to you and you said like that was your 3rd.
Yeah, I played 3.
And the guy playing you, that was his 4th or something like that.
No, I think Brandon only had 2, but like one of them that I knocked out had played 3 already in like round 5 of Swiss. So I'm just like, we all the Phantoms did really well, and then we knocked each other out. Like, that's just kind of how it's been working. Like, so like my round. The reason I bring that up is like you were saying, it was a long, grueling day. One of the nice things was my semifinal game against Brandon. That's up on Brandon Procros. That's up on not Gold Squadron, but the other one, Echo Base. I don't know if they've done it yet or not, but they were gonna.
Shout out to Echo Base, guys. Yeah. You're doing a fucking fantastic job.
Those guys are awesome. But that game was it was a fun game, but it's one of those games that like I got us 2 super lucky die rolls, so the game was over. Like, I gave up position on a turn for next turn's position, and I happened to have 2 range 3 shots on one of his Phantoms with mine, and I get to shoot first, right? And he goes 0 for 6 on his green dice and dies.
Ooh.
Right, and so it's just like I killed Quick Draw, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna trade not Quick Draw. I killed his Countdown because he was 3 Juke Phantoms and Countdown instead of 4, and I was like, okay, cool. I got Countdown out of the way, and I'm probably gonna lose a Phantom. But then next turn's positioning I have really good, right? But I just killed Countdown and a Phantom, and now I'm just up a Phantom. It's game over. So our game only took like 25 minutes. So then I got to just sit and relax and kind of get a nice breather before the finals.
Well, that had to be great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, so that's I couldn't remember how hard Nathan's game was in the semifinals. I know I've talked to some other people that were basically like, yeah, it's one of those. It was an inevitability game. Like, he was in control and winning the whole time, and just had to kind of run its course. So,
of course, that's usually how Nathan works, anyway, isn't it? From all the videos and
you're not wrong. From player side, yeah, very much so. But also,
like whenever Nathan sets his ship down, he's like, all right. It's my game to lose.
Yeah.
Kevin. Yeah. On that point, I want to try to dive in to look. He's not here. He's on spring break, and he totally deserves it. Way to go, Nathan.
Nice.
Does he ever like? Is that his mentality? Like, this is my game to lose. Like, I have to screw up in order for me to lose.
The interesting thing about Nathan is he has an unbelievable amount of patience when he plays. So like, and I know I'm not even near top tier players, but when I play, like I start to feel some level of anxiety if I feel like I'm behind, or I'll start taking risks or whatever. He will not do that all the way up to the end. And when I'm watching him, and if I'm, particularly like really vested in what's going on, it starts to almost give me heart palpitations because I can't understand like what he's doing and why he's doing it. And there have been so many games that he has pulled out at the very end. Like when he won Gen Con, the North American Championship, I think it was the top 16 game. He was flying Corrin and 2 other ships, and something happened early on, and he lost both other ships, and it was Corrin against the entire list of the top 16 other players. So it wasn't a schlup. It was a good player, and he just methodically over and over and over and just slowly did his thing, and on the very last round, after time was called, he set up Corrin for the double tap and took out 2 ships and won after time was called. And and I remember the first Worlds that I went to with him. This was actually the most amazing game I think I've ever seen. I'm being X-Wing dad, and I'm watching him, and he was on those long tables, but he happened to be on the end, so I was able to watch the whole thing. He was playing the national champion of Denmark, and the guy was flying a TIE Swarm. And I think that was the list that Nathan went to the top table with Paul Heaver and whatever. But anyways, Nathan made some mistake where he brought his ships up, and the guy like did a 5 forward and basically just blew away Nathan's A-wing and blew away his other one on the first or second round. And so it was Corrin against the entire swarm.
Oh, Jesus.
And he just slowly, methodically, he would do this, he would do that, and then he would double tap and pick one off, and then 15 more minutes of flying, and he did this, and he actually didn't win that game. They tied on points.
Oh my god!
Wow.
But I was just watching that, and I'm just thinking to myself, and he would do like the 5K where the nipples of the thing are right on the edge of the map, and it's like whatever. And so I don't know. He's like that though. He's very patient. He has an insight, which good players do, right? It's like what Tyler just said. He's like, I gave up position here because I knew where I was going to be next round, and I've calculated that risk, and that's worth it for me. And he does that a lot. So I don't know that he has that attitude of like it's mine to lose. Like I don't sense that from him, but I do sense the like. I will. He rarely, if ever. You'll never like usually see him shake hands until it's over. Like he doesn't like say, okay, this is over. He plays almost, most times all the way to the bell. And he has won a lot of games at the bell or very close to the bell. And I don't know, he's got that patience level where it's like kind of what Tyler said, like he was in control, but it had to run its course. Like Nathan will just run you just have to run the course and suffer until you go into the night.
So Tyler,
what's the movie? There's a movie where there's a kid playing chess. This is what it reminds me of.
For Bobby Fischer.
What's that?
The Search for Bobby Fischer.
No, I mean maybe, but I don't think that's what it is. So there's a point where the kid's playing chess, and he picks up bad habits because he's playing in the streets of New York, fast chess or whatnot.
Search for Bobby
Is it? Okay,
Fischer.
well, whatever. I'm sure maybe it is. But so he's playing someone that's very good, and he looks at the board and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to offer you a draw." And he's like, and the opponent thinks he's winning.
It's the very last game. He's playing. Right. He's playing the top playing kid, whatever, and he's the preppy one. He's got the turtleneck and this and that. Yeah. And the Search for Bobby Fischer. Okay, to set it up, this kid always plays his queen early.
Yeah,
and in the streets, that's how they play. But in the proper world, you're supposed to hold her back.
Well, in like competitive chess, yeah.
Right. So he loses his queen right away, and everyone freaks out. And he just sits there and he folds his hands and he looks at the board and looks at the board and looks at the board, and then he offers the kid the hand, And he's like, let's do a draw. And he's like, why? And he's like, because you lost. Because the kid could see like 16,000 moves ahead.
Right.
And even without his queen, he won.
Yeah.
It's like the Beautiful
search for
Mind movie.
Nathan Eide.
Where he, like,
There it is.
you see the patterns and things.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the things you said, Kevin, that I think is actually a very good description of the way Nathan plays is he's one of the most calculated risk takers. Like he'll never take a bad risk unless that's the only risk he can take to continue his position in the game, right? Like he'll take that aggressive play, but only if that's the only way he can get back into the game, right? Like, oh, this is the 5% play, but if I don't take the 5%, I just lose. And other than that, he plays from that controlled like pace standpoint. That it's just a very calculated way of playing.
Yeah. And, many people don't know this, but Nathan has a really strong dyslexia issue when it comes to reading, and something that we've had to work on a lot as he was growing up, and so reading is really challenging for Nathan, but it has created as our bodies and our brains often do, it compensates on the other side, and so for Nathan it's compensated like in the spatial recognition area and some of this and in calculation. I'm a USCF chess rated, so I'm not super high and I haven't played, but I'm about 1800 rating for USCF, and Nathan, and I never let Nathan beat me at anything, although now I can never beat him in anything.
Now you don't have a choice.
And it pisses me off because I can be kind of competitive, and so it's like some games, like I can't even play Terraforming Mars with him anymore. It just irritates the living daylights out of me because he can see the matches, he can build the engine. But where was I lost my train of thought on this? But yeah, anyways, when he was really young, like, well, he had a challenging reading. Like he would get mathematical concepts. And I remember when he was like 4 years old, he comes to the dinner table and he's just like, "Dad, did you know that 3 times 3 plus 4 times 4 equals 5 times 5?" And I'm like, "Okay, big deal." And he looks at me and he goes, "That's true for all numbers." And I had to sit back and okay, I think that's just a mathematical axiom, but he was too young to kind of understand that piece. And so he would figure out things like early on when he was young, he would multiply double digit numbers together because he wouldn't do it like we do it. Like, okay, 9 times 8 carry he'd figure out the pattern and he'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to take 20 times 20, which equals 400, and then subtract 16 and the number's this. And so I don't know, I've seen him apply that to when he does when you're doing the calculations and the statistics, other guys, they have these sheets and well, if you're rolling 4 dice, is it worth it to have the target lock or to use this for and when I try to ask him that question, he just doesn't think that way. His brain
doesn't work that way.
It's like he looks at it, his brain just understands a little differently.
So I will point out for all the parents in the group, what Kevin was just describing is one of the major concepts of the new style of math that's being taught that everyone hates.
Yep. And
it's actually really good.
It's really good. Yeah. It's recognizing patterns that create your solution.
Instead of just memorization.
So good of memes. They make
they make memes because they're explaining it through this process. Yeah. You've everyone's seen it. The teacher is showing out a whiteboard, and that's because she's teaching it, and this person's just doing math in front of a paper. You're just doing it to do it versus not doing it to understand it.
Yeah. So Tyler, do you remember you are running your Decimator Phantom, was it, or Decimator Vader? One of the two.
Which one? Worlds?
Well,
it was the Phantom.
Jesus. It was the Phantom, and you had to play Nathan, and I remember it's the perspectives of the game. I don't know who is right and who is wrong, but the perspectives were so interesting afterwards because, and I'm not even going to say, I don't even know that Nathan was right, but your perspective was, if this one thing wouldn't have happened, I would have had the game.
Oh no, it was like Corrin makes a move that gets him outside of the bubble of bigs.
Yeah.
Right? And he's pre-dark-sided. So I'm just gonna light Corrin up and he dies, right? Yeah. So he has to make a boost that fits around a rock, and then make a barrel roll that can fit between the rock and rack. And both of them are like, buy a paper thread, right? And he's like, I don't know if this fits, but I have to. And I was like, you sure do. And then he makes it, and then it's like, okay, I got to try the barrel roll. I was like, yep. And then he barrel rolls, so he gets to double tap rack, and I can't shoot him, kind of a thing. And I was like, that's good. Like, we can play it out, and like it came close, but I was like, we both were like, okay, he got there. Because I think I even came faster with rack than he expected, because he was expecting to like come around the rock and basically do the patented Nathan Eide, go ahead and shoot my Korin because he's outside of the Biggs bubble this turn, and then he's going to be in the Biggs bubble for the next 3 turns and get all the shields back, right? Like that game. It's like I know your game. Like I know what's up.
And when I talked to Nathan after that, I was just like, well, it was his perspective kind of was, and now maybe this is the overcut, but he was just, for him, he like from a calculated standpoint, he thought that he had that just the matchup and the way it went. Like there wasn't his perspective. Like it was like, no matter what would have happened there, I think I would have been okay. Now maybe he wasn't, maybe it was wrong, but like that was like it was just interesting watching the 2 different perspectives on how the game was interpreted from both players.
Oh, for sure. So I feel like what I would have felt better in that space, because what would have ended up happening is I would have got the dark side shot on him. So he would have been blinded for a turn, but more importantly, it would have got under his shields.
Yeah.
In the following turn, I could have dark-sided him again, so that in the inevitable Korin v Whisper fight, which is bad for Whisper, I just have to roll a crit and he dies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that I had a much better out after that point. But
yeah. Oh, and, I don't know that
1.0.
Nobody probably knows this. And I just when we started, so Tyler was the very first competitive game I actually ever played.
I'm trying to think.
You drove up from Peoria, or maybe like the second round.
No, because I played Nathan first. I played Nathan first round.
You played Nathan. Maybe I had a buy or something, but I played Tyler, and I didn't know who Tyler was. And I mean, Tyler,
I wasn't anybody at the time either. Like,
I thought you were.
How long ago was this?
This was literally the first regional ever. Like the first time we had regionals.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I died so fast that it was embarrassing.
Well, so
what I remember, and this is I want to compliment Tyler here, because this speaks to his character. The game probably went 15, 20 minutes, but Tyler spent a good, I don't know, 20 minutes at walking me through like basically how to play, because I didn't really know how to play, and he's like, he taught me and he showed me things, and I remember he had this notebook, and he kept track of everything that he was doing in every matchup, and but I just really appreciated that, and that was something that taught me about the X-Wing community. And so Tyler just didn't walk away and be like, you noob, but he actually showed me, and he actually told me, he's like, well, this is why I did that, and this is how, did you know that there's 11 moves between this and that, and you can, and I don't know, I was just really impressed. So Tyler's kind of had a special place in our little X-Wing story, and Nathan and Tyler have played a number of times.
I think I'm 4-5 against Nathan now, and like tournament play at this point. So we've matched up 9 times over the last 5 years.
Jeez.
To tell you the truth, it's literally like it's one of those great boxing matches that you always want to. Everyone pays attention. Like everyone goes, "Oh shit, Tyler's playing Nathan."
It's Morpheus is fighting Neo. No, but so what's funny, Kevin, is I distinctly remember that tournament.
Yeah,
because that was like you said, it was like Nathan's first competitive game, and I'd been through like a full competitive season, but I also hadn't started winning stuff, you know what I mean? So I'd played a bunch of games, but I hadn't really done that. And this is wave 3, mind you. So I had Soonter, Crassus with an HLC and a Doom Shuttle, and I'd finally settled on the list, and I'd put a lot of reps in with it, and I really felt good. And Nathan shows up with some weird jank that included R2D2 on a rookie X-Wing, and I'm like, and Dutch with an ion cannon, and I'm like, what is this shit? All right, fine, I've got this 13-year-old kid, he's got R2D2 on a rookie, no problem, right? So the game progresses, and I kill everything except Dutch, and I have Crassus. So I was like, oh, this is game over. I just win, right? And I just turned my brain off and started doing stupid stuff like K-turning with an ion token, so the following turn he's going to ion me, and then I'm just going to float stressed and get wrecked, right? Repeatedly over and over again, and then I lose, and I'm just looking at the board what happened? What is going on? And then I played Kevin next round, and I just all the nerd rage got taken out on Kevin in a like, because I think you had like Chewie or like you had a YT 1300, right? Like
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Sins of the father.
Yeah.
Check your book, Tyler. Check your book.
I don't know where that one is. I'd have to find that one. But yeah. I have multiple notebooks now of like tournament games. It's ridiculous.
And these guys have these great matches. And my first match was against an Oriental girl named Siri.
Oh, Siri. I forgot about
Who
Siri.
just absolutely destroyed me. And I finally looked at her and I said, I thought you were supposed to respect your elders.
So you were a grumpy old bastard from the beginning.
Oh, always.
Every time she rolled 3 hits, she'd go, I'm so sorry. Just handed me my rear end. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do have one final question, Nathan. Have you ever seen? Or sorry, she called you Nathan. Kevin, have you ever seen Nathan fly a ship off the board?
So I haven't actually. He flew so we went to a top table together at a local store tournament, and he was just, he knew he had me no matter what, but he was just kind of goofing off, and he flew Corin off the board.
You've seen him fly a ship off the board in another game too.
And I know that he did it once in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. He flew a Brobot off the board in Chicago because he dialed in the wrong move.
That's a rite of passage. You advance into boost 3 sloop, and then you're like, oh shit, that goes way farther than I thought.
Yeah.
So, but it not very often.
I bring that up because with Tyler's story last time was he was, especially in that match, he's like debating on this move, and he's like, oh shit, it's going off the board. And Nathan looks at it, he's like, nah. You got plenty of room.
And I did. And like you can see it on, like, it's not even close. Like I have like multiple millimeters of space afterwards, but it was just like I had that like heart sink point of, did I really just fuck this up? Like, did I really just do this? Like, I've had a lead for an hour and 43 minutes, and did I just fly a Phantom off the board, kind of a thing?
Yeah, I mean, in Worlds at top 4 when he placed Simeon, I mean, he didn't technically fly. He got Ion.
Yeah, he got walked
but he mixed up the ship order on that. But that, I tell you, that was probably one of the top 2 most interesting / kind of like emotional X-Wing events for me personally, because there was all this drama. And I know for people like who aren't there, and it's a bunch of plastic ships and big nerds playing on a board, but for those who had been playing for 14 hours nonstop, leaning over a table, doing all this, and had spent a lot of money to get there and had worked all year, I mean, there's a lot built up into that. And there was, for those of you who knew or remembered, there was the Simeon, his opponent. Simeon's grandfather actually like laid out his list and put the bomb on the wrong Brobot.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And so Nathan's flying it, and somebody on stream noticed it, called it in somehow, and the judges like stopped the match, and nobody really knew what was going on. And there was kind of like this hubbub. You can, I don't know if they have the whole thing on stream or not, but I'm sitting there, and I don't know, Tyler, if you were there watching this.
I was watching it. Yeah,
so there was all this just going on, and then one of the judges, some you overheard, a judge said that there's an illegal list issue. And then Simeon's grandfather fainted in the front row. And if you remember, he like fainted to the ground, and all these people got around him and like, is he okay? And did what happened? And because he was so upset that he potentially messed this whole thing up. For
what Worlds was this?
This was past Worlds.
This was this past Worlds. It was
the
top 4.
What the fuck was that? Oh, I was out changing a tire.
You were the tire.
Please, you were drunk in the parking lot,
I was
burned within an inch of your life.
No.
Because they wouldn't let me put a tent up.
Yeah, and
it was a game after on Topsky.
Yeah.
And so anyways, this was going on, and the head judge took Nathan back behind the curtain. They have those black curtains where they were televised, whatever, and basically asked Nathan, you have. Now, I don't even know if this was right for the judge to ask him, but whatever. It's what happened. It asked him, like, you have a right to DQ here because it did. I mean, it may not matter because, Nathan ended up playing that with Lorik, and he got ioned off and whatever. But there was there was a legal list that the bot wasn't on right and whatever. And basically the judge said, do you want to DQ this, or because we're not going to start it over? And Nathan just said, no, we're not going to do that. Like he earned the spot. It was an honest mistake, and we're going to play it out. And he made that decision knowing that he was going to lose, because Lorik had already flown off the board, and there really was not much of a chance for Nathan to win. And Nathan had tabled one, and I believe even beat the other two players in Swiss that were on the other side. So for Nathan, it was kind of like, if he would have made a different call, I mean, he still would have had to play the game out, but he must, he probably either would have won Worlds. And I just remember that moment, and when it kind of got out afterwards, what happened, Simeon's dad came up to me, and he was such a sweetheart, just an incredible guy. And
Rasta is a sweetheart.
Yeah, he had tears in his eyes, and he said to me, he's just like, it was Simeon's. It was always Simeon's dream to play Nathan, and they watched him on YouTube and whatever, and it was such an honor, and blah blah blah. And he's like, he's so honored that that's the way he handled the situation. And it was so weird for me, as because I had all these people talking to me, like, as I'm trying to, and they're just like, we can't believe that's how he handled it. That's ridiculous. This is why we love him in Iceland. Like, some guy couldn't even speak English to me. He's like speaking Icelandic, and he's every other word. And I got to be honest, I don't know that I would have made that call. I don't know that I would, but I was so proud. It was like, so this was the Proud Papa segment.
Yep, Proud Papa.
I was so
fuck you, Gordon. We're stealing it.
I was so proud of him for making that call.
Kevin, do you remember talking to me at Worlds right after that?
I do.
You pulled me over to the side and said, "Can I tell you something?" And I said, "Yeah." And you explained the whole situation. I said, "That's the reason Nathan's Nathan."
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, like, even you talking about it, like, I would never, like, I would always expect Nathan to make that call. You know what I mean? Like, that's just that's always been the kind of player he is. It's the same thing, like in our finals match. Like, there's like 10 minutes left, and when he turned in and killed my second Phantom, like, he just forgot he had a weapons failure. Because, like, R2-D2 flipped the weapons failure crit up. Like, I don't even know if anybody saw it, basically.
Oh, no.
So, like,
everybody saw it.
Everybody saw it on Twitch.
On stream. No,
yeah.
Everybody saw it.
So, I mean, he's at I6, he makes the move, right? And he just, like, puts the focus down, and then he, like, goes to shoot my Phantom, and I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I know he forgot the crit, right? Because he's got to have 3 dice, because he's got to get to 3, because that's the only way he kills my Phantom. And he, like, picks up 3 dice. He's like, okay, I'm going to shoot there. And I was like, you only get 2 dice. And he's like, what? And I was like, you have the weapons failure crit. He's like, oh, shit. And I was like, would you rather flip that down? Like, I'm not going to win fucking Adepticon because you forgot you had a crit that you could just freely turn down, right? Yeah. Like, so.
That's good. That's one great thing about the community, though. You always have some 8 balls, but the X-Wing community in general is represented by that. It's not always about all the winning. That there's a character that comes out in that.
And I want to emphasize this point, guys. It's not win at all costs here. This is not our game. This is not our community.
Yeah.
You know what?
There are people in the community.
There are people there.
It's pretty rare.
And with the growth of X-Wing, they've seeped in. But I'm just telling you, it's that there'll be people that go, okay, I get it. But, and there's always going to be a but on the other side. Like, if Nathan says, no, it's an illegal list, DQ him. Everyone will go, I get it. I understand why he did that. But everyone's going to go, but
sure.
And the great thing about the top players in X-Wing, they aren't those players.
Yep.
They're not.
Although
I want to win this. I didn't play X-Wing for 18 hours.
Right.
So let's
win on a fucking technicality.
Unless we think Nathan's an angel, though, I'm going to show. So this right here is the Carolina illegal list winner trophy. And so Nathan won a store championship with an illegal list. So just bring him down a notch or two.
No. That actually brings him up because he methodically thought about this and went, how can I mathematically ruin the, there was no mistake there.
Right.
It's not like
Yeah, I mean,
I get what he did.
He 100% owned up to it on purpose for the trophy.
Yeah.
yeah. So kudos again. I'm kind of bummed he's not on the show.
Yeah,
but I understand the kid needs a break.
He hates talking about himself though, so he'd probably be over here, he'd be kind of interpreted.
I was wondering how this was going to go with Nathan on the show. Because I've met Nathan a couple of times.
Yeah.
And it's always like, "Hi, Nathan. I'm Aaron." And he's like, "Hi." Like, "Hey, keep doing what you're doing." He's like, "Okay."
He at least says, "Hi, how you doing?" to me now.
I'm like, "Nathan, come on. Strip clubs, let's go. Let's go."
That's a big jump.
That's
what
Zach Matthews tried to do.
Get him to 21, and then we can offer him drinks and then converse.
Okay. So Kevin, you'll appreciate this.
Yeah.
So this was like 2 Gen Cons ago. All right. So everyone's playing. Like I have Racklow. And because I'm playing Racklow, half of my games don't matter. I just auto win. So I have a red Under Armour metal sports bottle that I have full of Fireball. And then I have a black one that's full of water, right? And Nathan had a very similar red sports bottle that was evidently full of water. So we're like in the middle of day 2 or some shit. And I'm done with my game and my gear is just like setting roughly close to where Nathan's playing, and I see Nathan pick up a red sports bottle and pop the cap and just throw that bitch back, and I'm like, "Oh God, no!" and he just sets it down like literally nothing, right? Like there's never been a person that has taken a drag of alcohol like this in their life and been fine, and I'm just like, and then I look over and I see mine, and I was like, "Okay, I didn't give like the 16-year-old like 4 shots of Fireball." Sweet.
Yeah, like was the first thing your brain goes, he just took.
Yes,
what?
I was like,
a fucking champ.
Like a boss.
Like Nathan, okay.
That's great.
Apparently it's not. It's done in Wisconsin.
That's fair. I mean, so you can. I played Mikhail from Stay on Target, right? Stay on Target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In like first round of Swiss, second round of Swiss, or something like that. And he was playing the Lebo version of Lebo Po, but didn't realize that like Kylo fucks it because that's just the way they ruled it.
Yeah,
and he like sets it down, and Chris Allen walks by, and he was like, "Oh, Mikhail, you're fucked, right?" Now he was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, Kylo works on you." He's like, "No, he does." He's like, "Yes, he does." And I was like, "Sorry, man." I was like, "Hey, you want a shot of Fireball?" And he was just like, "No." And I was like, "Okay." So then I just take a big hit. I've been drinking at least a shot per game or whatnot. I was like, "It doesn't matter, man. I don't. This game's already over. I'm just gonna like autopilot at this point." It's like, "No, no."
It's not gonna work, man.
No, promise. That's the worst thing is I have to play real X-Wing now, which just means I can drink, but like I need to be like
you have to play real X-Wing.
Yeah.
So Nathan's 18.
He is. It's absolutely hard for me to believe.
So what you're saying is Gen Con 2023. We're gonna slap an OCX shirt on him.
Fireball with Tyler.
Yeah.
We're gonna slap an OCX shirt on him, and we'll show him Indiana.
Well, there was a movement on one of the X-Wing Facebook things a year or so ago after Nathan was doing kind of well, and they're like, "Well, we can't make him drink, but we can get him a girlfriend."
Oh yeah, that originated here. Zach Matthews was on, and he says we just got to get him a girlfriend.
And then we won't have to worry about him anymore.
And how's that working out?
Well, he does have an interest of somebody in Iowa, I actually would say.
Oh man!
So we'll
tall and blonde.
We'll have to see what happens. Oh, she's a brunette.
Oh, okay. All right, then you're good. You're safe.
Do we have
material?
Do we have a problem with tall blondes?
Oh, tall blondes are always bad. There's no gender specific either. If you're tall and blonde, you're trouble.
Okay, I'll agree with that.
You're not blonde. You're like
I'm not right now. Wait till the summer. It'll be white. Just haven't been
and wait till the summer, then you become a problem.
I'll have to take the hat
probably
off
accurate.
Another comment about the X-Wing community. It's been, Nathan's been able to travel to some places. I mean, he's had to, earn his own way, etc. Because I trust the guys that are out there for when he was a minor to spend time with. So Kevin Leitz and Dion, and when he's gone out to California, and these guys have Farmer, and they picked him up at the airport. They've watched, they've taken care of him, and like I have no worries at all. Like these guys are honest, and so as a dad, like raising a son, I've appreciated him being in this community, because the guys like Tyler and others that are older than him, that they're good role models. I mean, in general, most of them are they're working professional jobs. They've graduated. They set a good standard. That, in my opinion, anyways, from my experience of other gaming systems and other things, I think the caliber of individuals, it's going to sound very judgmental, but I think the caliber of individuals in X-Wing is above average from some of the other gaming systems out there. So I've appreciated.
We're not Magic players.
not Warhammer either.
Kevin, I can tell you, I will take care of your son, but don't send him to the OC Games and Comics Hyperspace Trial. I'm a wonderful human being, but
well, okay, so.
But if he's 18,
well,
send
and
him
then
my
Nathan
way.
has to be it's like Nathan's actually Zach's adult.
That's
what they ended up
Oh
saying.
yeah, I know.
Yep.
I know.
So okay, I will. What was I lost it. I had something that was going to be good.
That sounds like an excellent time to go to commercial break, because I have to take a piss.
Sure.
What commercial should Montana do?
Kevin? What commercial do you want to hear?
Well, what are my options? That's something.
As he literally asked us at the beginning of the show. So, what are you guys all about? You do a podcast?
I've only been on one other podcast, and the Minox did a Father's Day special.
Fuck
nice.
the Minox.
That Nathan and I both got on, and we did that. So.
Wait, hold on, we can't hate the Minox. I was there literally 2 days ago.
Really?
But now you're here.
I'm here, and I'll be on Scum and Villainy tomorrow.
Well, oh, you were on. Yeah. Oh, hey. Oh, no. I want to give. Thank you for reminding me. I want to give a big round of applause to Tyler Tippett, who is now unseated Gordon Berg as the podcast whore of the week.
Was Gordon on a lot? Or
Gordon's that's his permanent. That's his permanent title.
In the past month, he's been on multiple OCXs. He was on Gold Squadron further, like town hall ish thing.
Sure.
Call in.
It's now called Stay on OCX.
But nope, you won the horror of the week contest.
So which is funny too, because like we'd had this plan, and then like tomorrow is just our normal every other Thursday record for Scum and Villainy. But so Monday happens. So obviously the European System Open happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Jack wins with Han Jake,
Mm-hmm.
and there was so Farmer makes the Minoc post that's like, hey, do we think Han is okay, or do we think they need to like look at nerfing, possibly hot fixing? Like, what's everybody feel about it? And there was about like 400 comments of a whole bunch of people that have never played against this Han build. And let me tell you, because I even talked about it when I was on with you guys a few weeks ago. Like,
yeah,
that is the most degenerate thing you will see in a game right now. Like, and it is horrible to play against.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the entire time you're playing against, you feel like you're losing. You don't feel like there's a real option involved, because there isn't a lot of the times, right? Like with the way that Han can move with free stops, all that kind of stuff. Like you're just making, like you're trying to make a choice, and you always make the wrong answer because he just gets to pick after you, right? And there was a whole bunch of people, like Europe, if you're listening. I mean, I know you're not, but if you're listening,
oh no, we're
like,
big in Europe.
Oh well, shit. Europe, then you're listening. Play against that shit 5 times and then come back and tell me how like innocent and like only the best of the best can run with the style of Han, and that's the only people that can win with it. That's not to take anything away from Nathan and Jack. They both played really well, but you do not need to be an amazing X-Wing player to do well with that list. To win the biggest system open in the world, yeah, sure. I 100% like Jack played really well. right? To like go undefeated at Hoth until the final table, Nathan did really awesome. But when you have full information of a board, like that's what we're talking about, is just that style thing. Like Kevin, I'm assuming you've gotten to play against this Han in practice.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about playing it, but
not now.
but like very legitimately, like how do those games feel like from a player perspective?
Yeah, no, it's tough. It's absolutely tough, and but so I agree with everything you're saying. I think when you're at that top level, though, I mean, it's just like so Nathan, you had Han down to had 1 shield and 2 hull for 65 minutes.
Yes,
and you couldn't take it out, right?
Yeah,
so, but he still had to. Absolutely, he only took range 3 shots. He range controlled you. And that's kind of tough to do with a large base ship when those phantoms could decloak in any direction.
Well, so like I okay,
at least it's hard for me.
Yeah, which that's fair. So along that line, phantoms have the highest uptime of guns on target and any ship in the game, right? Like because of the way they can move laterally, I can almost always shoot you, right?
Yep.
Like I have to choose not to engage or not to shoot for a turn. If you don't have 4 phantoms, I don't know what you can fly that can kill that Han in 70 minutes, right? Like I got really lucky because I got like I think I went like 10 for 13 or something like that on red dice into Nora, like on that first engage, right?
Yeah,
Put Nora on 2, right?
Yeah.
And so like I'm just up now, right? Like I'm winning, and then on the exchange where he kills a phantom, I kill Nora back, and I'm up on points. So now he has to fight me. Like if he doesn't have to fight me there, then like this is just, you know what I mean? Like okay, like it's a totally different game, and I'm never gonna get in close. He had to actually engage, which generally doesn't end up happening in other games. That's kind of what I was talking about in the top 4, where I was like, I feel like Nathan was just in control. It's just a matter of time because he's just gonna get those shots because Han. Like you were saying, he always takes the range 3 shots, but you're never going to get Han at range 1. Like you're not going to get him in close, right? Like he's only going to let you have those deep shots that are not good shots that don't end up dealing damage over and over. It feels like a 1.0 ship, right? Like it feels like that old style. Oh man, I don't like to use this term like lightly, but I very vividly remember halfway through the game having PTSD flashbacks of like I've shot this fucking ship for 30 fucking minutes and I keep doing 1 damage and the shield comes back. I've been here before. I've seen this. Like I know how this game ends.
I was supposed to leave these feelings back in 2018 before.
Yeah, like I burned the box. It is no more. Like I don't have to deal with it anymore.
And that's the other half of the game, right? Is actually list building. Right?
Yeah.
So, because no matter what you do, no matter how well you balance, something is always going to be a little better than everything else. And then you got to figure out what that secret sauce is to do the best, because something can always, you could build something to take out 4 phantoms, but it won't be able to do well against everything else in the field.
Right. So there is a couple things that you could make an outside argument that are good against that Han style build, right?
Yep.
But it just hard loses to phantoms. Like, and it probably also probably loses to Rebel Beef.
It's not a good enough generalist list to take.
Yeah. Yep. And that's the thing where I'm just sitting there looking like, man, I don't, because like I had practiced against not Jake and Nora, but like that Han before, so I understood what it does, right?
Yeah.
Which is like I don't think you can even hear it on the table audio, but I shoot Han on the second turn of the game, and like I think we both miss each other, right? Like it's deep shots. We have defensive mods. We miss each other. But Nathan looks up at me and he's like, "It's the second turn of the game, and you're shooting me with phantoms. What are you doing?" And it's like I know how this works. Like I have 2 hours, and I don't think that's enough time to kill your fucking ship. So like let's go. Like. And because Kevin and from Europe, from the Weekend Warriors, that he lost in the top 4 to Jack. Like I had been messaging Kevin all weekend because he'd been asking me about like playing for phantoms and stuff like that. And when I saw the matchup, I had messaged him and I was like, you have to go hard. Like you only have 70 minutes. Like you have to get in and be hyper aggressive with it because it's your only chance. And like even with that, I don't know and I mean he played really well and he was 1 block away. Like there was a 3 turn that fit over the phantoms that almost got blocked back to get double shot. But it's like, you're sitting there like, oh, like I don't know and that's not even to kill Han. That's to half point Han and hopefully 1 on points. So that Han's really good. Everybody out there, if you listen to Gold Squadron, they're wrong.
They are wrong.
I haven't listened to it yet.
They're
I'll have to
super
find
wrong.
out why they're wrong.
Well, it's just the Han. They were like, oh, I don't think the Han's actually that bad. Like, and
Well-
Marcel's like, Tyler's saying it's really bad. You beat it. I beat it with good dice early and a 2-hour time limit. Like, those are two very key qualifiers. I don't know as we play that game out 4 times that I even go 50-50. Like, I think I go 1 and 3. Like, that's the feeling I have with it. If I have more practice against it, maybe it gets to 50-50. I don't want to say like Phantoms can't handle it, but if I'm going, I don't know if Phantoms can handle this, and we all, like, everyone knows Phantom needs toned down. Like, holy crap, like, they're too good, right? Like, that's just, everybody knows that. No big deal.
Do
Then
you think with the fact that Juke doesn't do really anything to Han except force him to reroll again, that Vader 3 Imdars might be better?
yeah, Vader 3 Imdars is 100% better. It just can't hang against Quad Shoot. So like,
Yeah.
so if that's, I love all the theory crafting of like, what can you do to Phantoms to make them okay, right? Like, and people have good ideas. It's not to take anything away, but there's a lot of people that are like, oh, just rip the EPT off the Phantoms and that'll fix it. I was like, that super doesn't fix it. We just all go to Imdars and Vader, and we get a better list because the list that hunts us goes away. So.
That's fantastic. We're going to go to commercial break here. I'm going to cut these motherfuckers off. Actually, I already pissed, so I really don't care.
Well, I need to get another beer.
All right, so let's do. You know what? Let's blast from the past. Let's get some OCX dubstep in here. Montana original OCX dubstep. Please take it away, OCX. Gonna give it to you.
Timestamp.
Yeah,
1:20. Done.
so we're okay. Are we taking a break here?
Yeah.
Okay,
take a break if you
I'm
need to.
gonna go pee.
Okay.
So,
I'll be
Kevin,
back.
if you don't know, this is our commercial break. This is where we get to literally talk whatever we want to. We're still live. We're still on the air. Everyone else watching can see and hear.
Well, is there anything in particular you want to talk, to us pops about that you think would be of interest? Or
we're gonna come in after commercial break, and we're gonna do the old pops thing. I want the whole dynamic of you two watching your sons play in the biggest, one of the biggest arenas. This is usually when Mark has his "Get Off My Playmat" episode. He usually bitches about young X-Wing players or what he doesn't like about X-Wing. But I think that, hey, you know what? We'll have old grumpy men get off my playmat. You guys can both tandem tell all these young whippersnappers what the hell you don't like about X-Wing, kind of a thing. So. But no, right now it's usually just fuck you, Michael Atch. God damn it. I thought I banned this guy. Just kidding, Michael. I love you, even though you're a fucking dirty Hawkeye fan. Anyway, if you wanted to know, if you go to the YouTube page where this is live at, oh, never mind. I'm not going to talk you through it. The live chat's crazy. There are always a bunch of hooligans.
Oh, but, so I could go there and then see what they're.
You can pull up the actual YouTube and watch the live chat. You just have to make sure that you mute the video.
Sure.
Because otherwise, that'll play through your speakers, and we get to hear a weird little reverb.
So, what's the OCX podcast? Is that what I?
Just type in OCX Radio in YouTube, and
there I am,
the live one.
Okay, I just muted it. Oh, and there's the chat.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's commercial break. Ask Kevin Eide anything you want. Just don't pay any attention to Christopher Brown. He's faux Brown. I can't believe he hasn't changed his nickname yet, but there's Chris Brown and there's Christopher Brown. I can't remember what episode it was, but I totally got those two mixed up, and I was like, what is going on here?
Okay, so we're on commercial, right? We haven't gone back to like being recorded, but we're live, everybody.
Well, we're live.
Well, yeah, we're live. I won't make this mistake again. How many people do we have live? 22? All right, this is a good time.
No idea.
This is 20. Well, are you just on YouTube? You're not on Twitch, right?
YouTube only.
Okay.
Not on Twitch.
22.
So, do you want to hear the Legend of Karen?
I want to hear the Legend of Karen.
Yeah, let's do that now.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. Okay.
No, go ahead.
Yes. All right. So one of the perks, and I don't know how Nathan feels about this, but one of the major perks of top 8ing Adepticon is like I don't need to give a shit about X-Wing for like 6.5 months. Right? Like last weekend was Indianapolis, and I was like, I don't want to go. Like I don't have to. Like there's whatever. Like I'll go to Bloomington. Like the weekend before that was maybe Milwaukee, or there was another one I would have had to drive a good distance to. And I was like, I was already busy, and I didn't feel bad about missing it. And there'll be others that'll come up, and I'll just be like, you know what? I just want to kind of hang out and do fun stuff in the summer, right? Like
I don't need to.
yeah, I don't have to do it. It's awesome. Like I have the one on May 4th. It's in Bloomington. I'll go play the first day. Then I'm gonna go out with a bunch of my friends because it's a couple of my volleyball friends' birthday that night, and then I might come back Sunday. I might not. Maybe I'll just decide I don't want to play. Like, and that doesn't matter, which is a great feeling. So instead of going to Indianapolis to play, I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna do anything last weekend. Like, I've got a Saturday free. I'm just gonna hang out. No big deal. Unbeknownst to me, my doubles partner from Chicago, Nate, like gets a text message on Thursday night. And there is a lady named Karen, and she wants to play in a Turf 4s volleyball event, which I also didn't know was a thing. So grass 4s and grass 3s is a type of volleyball that you play. And now there's a couple of indoor soccer complexes up in the Chicagoland area that are running Turf 4s, like indoor volleyball, basically. So you're still indoor, but you get to play on like the really nice turf fields that have like the little rubber dirt.
Got padding. It's got the whole thing. Yeah.
Well, but it's like what the like NFL like turf.
Yeah,
is.
it's
like,
an NFL
really,
turf.
really. Yeah, it's really good. So she wants to play, and she finds 2 guys, and she needs one more to play for this Turf 4s event. And so she asks a friend, and that friend knows my buddy Nate and messages my buddy Nate, and she's like, hey, can you play with this Kathy person like out here on this Turf 4s thing on Saturday? Yes, can you play with, or Karen? Yes, sorry, not Kathy, Karen. And Nate's like, you know what? His fiance wanted him out of the house for the day because otherwise he would have just bugged her or whatnot. He's like, I'm just gonna go play volleyball for a day. It'll be great. So he agrees. So between Thursday and Friday, the other 2 guys that are playing with Karen decide they don't want to play anymore. I don't know any of this. So now it's just Karen and Nate. So she's like, Nate, do you know anybody that could come play? So he messages me. He's like, hey, are you in Chicago this weekend? And this is like 3 or 4 p.m. on Friday, right? So like, hey, you going to be in Chicago this weekend? And are you busy on Saturday? Because I have a Turf 4s tournament that I need some people for. And I was like, I had no intentions of going anywhere. But like I could drive up for some volleyball. Like that'd be fun. And I'm like, you know what? All right, screw it. I'm in. Like I want to play. This will be good. He's like, okay, great. We need one more. And like text this number. This is Kathy. Like she's on the team too, and she's putting the team together. Karen.
God damn it, Karen.
It's
why the fuck
two beers, and now
Legend of Karen. And
wait, hold on.
2 other names.
Is it? Hold on. Is it? It might be.
Is it Kathy?
It might be Kathy.
Like it's actually Kathy.
It might be.
The Legend of Karen turned out to be Kathy.
I mean, it's all right.
All right. Text 1 for Karen, 2 for Kathy.
No, it's totally Kathy.
Don't say it.
It's Kathy.
It's Kathy.
Fuck.
All right. So it
was a 2.
Yeah.
2 wins.
So I was like, hey Kathy, this is Tyler. I'm Nate's friend. Like I'm into play. Like he said you might need an extra player. Like can you send me the event details? It's like, awesome. Here it is. So she sends me like the Facebook link, and I open the Facebook link. And it is men's 4s and women's 4s. There is no co-ed. And I'm just like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Like, it's not unheard of for girls to play, like, in men's 4s. Like, it's like you'll get 3 guys and you'll have a girl come play too. Like, it's not a big deal, but that's a thing. But it's also, I'm like, it's 2019. Kathy might be a guy. Like, I don't know.
Sure.
Right. And so, but she's asking me if I know anybody that can play. And so like, I text a couple guys in Chicago. They're all busy because it's literally the day before. Right. And I was like, what do we need? She's like, well, I play defense and I know it's me and Nate. So I was like, okay, we need hands, just someone that can set the ball, or we just need a body. So I text so I'm like, can I bring a girl? Like, is that kosher? She's like, yeah, a girl will be fine. And we're going to play in B. There's like competitive division and non-competitive. And she's like, we're going to play in non-competitive because I'm playing and then we might bring another girl. Like, okay, fair. No big deal, right? Nobody wants to go because it's now like 8 o'clock at night and no one wants to wake up at 6 a.m. and drive 3 hours to get to this event.
Obviously.
Like, Well, not. I mean, there's a couple of them should have gone, but they gave me bullshit excuses and just didn't do anything to do. Whatever. I mean, I'm still mad at them. We'll get to why later. So Kathy's like, it's okay. I'm going to go to an open gym tonight, and I'll just find someone at the open gym that wants to play. I'm like, that's reasonable. Like, there's going to be someone there that's going to be like, okay, I've got nothing to do on a Friday. Like, we go to sleep, wake up the next morning, start driving north. I'm halfway to the place and I get a text message in like the me, Nate, and Kathy text group, and it's just like I couldn't find anybody at open gym. It's like, that's weird. Like, I've never not been able to like find someone at an open gym, right? Like, there's always someone that wants to play. So now like my unkosher sense is pinging, right? So we get there, I pull in, Nate pulls in like right as I get there. So we walk in, and I was like, Nate, do you know this Kathy? He's like, I don't know this person. I was like, okay. So we sit down, and Kathy rolls up, and Kathy is 65. And I was just like,
awesome.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. And we don't have a fourth. I'm like, all right, like we can do this. This will be fine. And like now, Kathy was fine, but was very slow because of just her age. Like, she's just not as fast as everybody else. And we're playing against four guys general, right? So now we're playing in the uncompetitive division, and Nate and I should 100% be in the competitive side. Like that's
yes.
That's where because
you play fucking volleyball.
Well, but
every weekend.
Yeah, and I'm also like I'm 6'7", Nate 6'5", right? So
You're
it's
not
like we're
6'7".
Yes, I am.
Shit, am I getting fucking shorter?
6'6" 3/4".
I'll
round up
10 more years, and you're gonna be 6'5" like the rest of us.
Yeah, and Nate's 6'4". So I'm like, okay, we can do this. Nate and I play doubles, so we're literally playing doubles on a 4s court, or on a 6s court, which is it's 30 by 30 instead of 9 meter by 9 meter, right? So there's extra space, and we have our 65-year-old defensive specialist like on the back line if we can't get to something, and understand that if we can't get there, she's not getting there either because she's too slow, right?
The Legend of Karen.
So we play our first game and we split. So like we get a win, they get a win. Yeah, well, because we play doubles, and so it's just like hit at one of us, like both of us can set, and we're just gonna go up and bang. And the other team after they got their first win, we won pretty handily the second game, and you could just see the look. They're like, wait a minute, what just happened? Like how did this? And
you guys are not in the right category.
Well, but we're missing a person, and we have Kathy. Like so
Karen, Kathy. Fuck.
No, it's Kathy. It is Kathy. I'll switch it every time on you. Can I confirm Matt Tyler? Oh, yes. So anyway, so we sit down, but I'm looking at the rest of the teams in B, right? And I'm like, that's probably the only win we get. Like the other teams are just like their 4 guys are just good enough that they'll be able to hang with us and just push the ball where we are. Because that's a huge court for 2 people to cover. So we're sitting there, and then Kathy walks back up. She's like, hey, I found us a fourth. Like me and Nate look at each other like, okay. And she's like, yeah, I was buying like a Gatorade at the concession stand, and one of the girls working there just had wanted to play women's, and they didn't get enough teams signed up, so she wants to come play with us. I was like, I mean, great. You could have asked us first if we like. Could there be an interview? Yeah, right. Well, like turns out this girl's like just out of college and had like played small school libero in college. And I was like, oh, great. I have an actual defensive person I can just shove in the back. Like you just get balls up in the air. It'll be great. But now we don't have a setter, right? So now I'm the setter. So I'm hands.
Oh, that's bad.
There's no one that plays volleyball here. My hands are clean as fuck. You guys aren't gonna know what that means, but and I had 2 doubles called on me the whole night, which was
can we transfer over? My hands are clean as fuck over to X-Wing.
I
don't think so.
No, you probably could. My hands are not clean in X-Wing. I am the worst, like shaky fucking hand person. Like
dirty shit.
Yeah, it's dirty, just dirty. And so we end up splitting the next game, and we play by far the best team in our pool. And we lose the first one pretty badly, and then we take them to 24-26 in the second game and like barely lose. We're like, okay, we're probably done. Well, we make it out of pool play. So now we now we go into playoffs. And we're like, all right. And we're playing a team from the other courts, like the other set of B courts. Yep. And it's like one of the ladies that's running the whole thing. And she's like, oh yeah, like the winner gets like double your money back and second place gets your money back. And I was like, No, it is beach rules. That's you can't use oven mitts. You can't have any rotation. Like that's the thing. Like that's what was killing me. Is we only got I got 2 rotations because we were in B instead of like no.
Wait,
but
Patrick, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
he dropped it. So we end up and this team is another kind of situation like us. Is they have a girl playing deep. And then they have like this roided out college dude. That's like, he's like fresh out of college. He's young, like big jack dude, backwards hat, like and just angry, like seething with roid rage, right? And it's like we're playing a best of 1, and it's tied 18-18, and they've just now figured out that like if we get the pass up, like I'm gonna set Nate every time without question, and he's gonna get a kill because their outside guy can't guard him. So it's any time that they're going to be on defense, like they're serving, like Roy dude is lining up over Nate, and he's going to get the block or whatnot. And so now I'm just like knuckling over because the other guy's not paying attention to me. Now he's getting mad, so he's coming back to my side, set Nate gets kill. Like he's just freaking it. So it's like we're at like 24-22 or something like that, and they have a busted play, or no, they serve over. And we shank the pass. So I run the pass down, and I know that I can't get the ball across the net cleanly to Nate. So I back set my 23-year-old libero, and she goes up to swing. So it's coming from the right side. So I put the ball behind me, and she goes to swing, and she misses the ball, and she duck hits the shit with like this portion of her hand, like literally like pinky and under pinky with the hand, right? And the ball just like lame ducks over the net and lands between all 4 of them to win the game.
Jeez.
Like none of them can get there. And I like absolutely did not mean to do this in any way. Like she was ripping on, like she had hit a couple of them really well, and this guy just loses his shit.
Right.
Like, how do we fucking lose this? Oh, why did you get that? Like, it just like storms off the court, right? And there's a decent number of people watching now because it's like this is the semifinals, or this is like Elite 8, right? And
non-competitive.
Yeah, because there's two here. Well, but we have like
the non-competitive group with the roid rage guy.
Yeah, and like because it's everyone's just sitting in stands at the side, right? And it's just 100%. It's just a straight miss hit, like ducks the shit over, like lands it, and we're just like, holy shit, we won. And so this guy storms off, and everybody out there is just like, that's the best thing that's happened all day. Like we love everything about this. So then we played in the top 4, and whatever happens to me every time I play in these long events is both Nate and I, because we basically were the majority of the offense and defense on the team, we both ran out of gas. And so we're like, I can't jump set anymore. I'm starting to double because I'm just tired. He's not hitting as well anymore. And I don't have an extra, like, I can give the ball to my college girl, but she can't really do anything with it, like strong wise. So we end up losing. We're like, we were 1 game away from money, but like, and then the team that we took to 24-26 just curb stomped the team that beat us. And I was like, we could have taken them. Like, we could have beat them if we had another couple of shots at them. So that was my Saturday. And that was the legend of Kathy. And she was like, thanks for playing with us, guys. Generally, people don't want to play with, like, a 65-year-old lady. And I was like, I kind of get why. But it's okay. Like, she's like, do you know anybody else that's, like, over 40 that want to come and play on a women's tournament? Like, sure don't. Sure don't.
I mean, not going to lie. I generally thought this was going to be a BattleTech story. But man,
no.
Was I wrong?
No. And so we're gonna fully wrap back around to the first thing you asked me, which was why didn't I play my BattleTech mission?
You played your BattleTech mission,
right?
And
so I played.
Karen.
Yes, I did. Yeah, Karen or Kathy, maybe both. So I played 9 games of indoor grass, and drove 2.5 hours each way. So I got home Saturday night, and I was like, all right, I got showered. I was like, I'm gonna load this Mega Mech thing up. And like, I made the mistake of like getting in bed with my laptop, and I was like, all right, we're going to do this. And like 25 minutes later, I woke up on Sunday. It's just like, it's like, and to a fucking blizzard.
That might
to a fucking blizzard.
That might win the award of the most obscure X-Wing to BattleTech to volleyball, back to BattleTech. And now we're going to wrap it up with X-Wing.
Yes.
Fucking.
So maybe I'll do this weekend. Yeah, I might do it Saturday.
All right.
Gentlemen, let me introduce you to Tyler Tippett.
We will let the chat decide if that was a good commercial break or a bad commercial break. Now, I will let you know they are only allowed to type in the number 2. So we'll go with, I enjoyed that story. 1, I enjoyed the story, but was caught off guard. 1.5.
Yeah, for that person who does.
And then
1.5.
for the rest of you degenerates, type in 2.
Thanks, Jared.
No, Coach, you want to know how to really get them? Type in 1 if you want us to keep doing this shtick. Type in 2 if you don't.
Oh, should we just fuck everyone up and just talk about volleyball and BattleTech for the rest?
I mean, I'm in for all BattleTech. Let's go.
No, I'm not sure if Kevin wants to go through that.
Well, hold on, Kevin. Have you started playing
Kevin!
BattleTech?
No.
Kevin, how do you not know what BattleTech is?
For you.
Oh, I know what BattleTech is. I just don't
okay.
play.
Rule just re-released, like
So-
your sets.
So I got 5 kids, and
That's a star. That's a star. You're perfect. One mech for each
I
of
was
them.
gonna say, you're a fucking clanner through and through, man. That is a perfect star. Just give them all fucking Warhawks and you're good. Oh, Glaive Leader. Hold on. Glaive Leader, you will know now that he's in chat. This is a very special evening for Glaive Leader. I have his handwritten note right here that was fantastic. And he gave me this with a bunch of goodies a long time ago. Plugging his Wolf Squadron group. I have no more scratch paper, Glaive Leader. So your scratch paper, your note turned into timestamps. So I'm going to send this back to you. Right now it's pretty clean, but man, is there a lot I have to write on this. So after I take a picture and send this to Montana, I'm going to sign it. You know what? Fuck it. Maybe I might send this, make the rounds, and we'll have everybody sign this. And,
it's like a set list from a concert.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe. Here I am making promises again because I'm the last person to fucking make promises.
Let's be real. You'll have people sign it at Gen Con.
Yes. There we go. Oh shit! That's way easier. I'm gonna get this baby signed at Gen Con, and Patrick, you're gonna get this back. I'll send this to you, buddy. This will be awesome. Timestamp. I didn't even fucking write time. It's like timestamps. God, I'm terrible. All right,
Are we still on commercial break?
we're still on. Yeah, I'm sorry, Kevin. This shit happens.
Well,
Okay.
Tyler happened with his legend story.
Tyler happened. We're gonna get this 142, 4, 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, from the OCX Radio Podcast. Hope you enjoyed that wonderful tune from back in 2017. Going back way back in the archives for that dubstep. Uh-oh. That sounds like an emergency broadcast system. I feel like we have a Get Off My Playmat episode coming on right now. Also joined with a special guest of Kevin Eide, along with your own Uncle Mark Tippett. Take it away, Mark.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, all ships at sea. Welcome to the borderless wasteland where all are welcome. Adepticon. Tyler Tippett champion. 4 Phantoms with juke and crack shot. Broken. Old friends reunite. New friends made. Walker Dracow defeated. Jake Rhyme conceded via heart attack card. Just need to take out Kevin Lentz for a clear sweep of Echo Base. May have caused Moth Widowmaker to retire from game with submarining to slot 32.
Oh, shit.
Bob's claim, need I say more? And finally, and the horse you rode in on. This has been Uncle Mark. Have a nice evening.
You forgot Minion beats Coach.
I did. I'm sorry. I wrote this 2 weeks ago.
And he thought he lost the game. We added the points up. I'm like, shit. I did actually lose to a Patreon. Fuck me.
That's gotta be as good as Alejandro and I figuring up the score at the end of the game and him winning by 1 point.
Hey, he got some templates out of it. He doesn't understand what they say.
I read them off to him, and he knows what thweek means.
There you go. Okay, Kevin, sorry. This has been a very long-standing tradition. Whenever anyone says thweek, you have to take a drink of an alcoholic beverage. That goes for everyone playing at home as well.
Including those that aren't 21.
Kevin.
Yes.
Do you have a get off my playmat moment? What really peed you off? Them fucking young whippersnappers freaking doing this shit and on your playmat.
I've seen a couple sketchy things in at some of the national tournaments that Nathan had to put up with. Never got very far. People, cheating on moves or coming over to his side of the table to move their ship so it wouldn't go off the board, or slow playing, just so bad that I actually one time an FFG judge actually pulled up a chair and sat next to the game for the last 25 minutes and like actually said to the guy, "You have to put your dial down now." Just things like that.
Wow.
But I think the only thing like in the X-Wing world that actually kind of perturbs me a little bit, and it's more of just kind of the general online vitriol that we find in social media in general, is all the negativity. I mean, it's a game, and there's always going to be something that's out of balance by definition, because whenever you have this much plurality in a system, you tweak something else is going to be the best. And so people getting excited and saying how this is awful and FFG is, I think some of that is a little out of control. And you know what, if you don't enjoy it, then go do something you enjoy. But don't be so toxic that it kind of takes the fun out of it for other people. And that's one thing that I think Nathan's good at ignoring. He doesn't get into the drama of when people are getting excited and complaining and complaining and complaining and complaining and complaining. And but that's where people set themselves apart. Like, most people don't like to be around complainers. So are you going to be a complainer, or are you just going to, enjoy what you have? And with the limited time and resources that I have to, play X-Wing with everything going on in my life, I'm not going to, I'm going to choose to enjoy it. Even if I do have to play against 4 Phantoms.
Hey, now I have a very successful podcast that is based around people complaining.
Yeah. So not for me, not for me.
Successful in quotes.
Kevin, I sat next to you during our last match on the Swiss, and I can't remember the name of the guy you were playing, but you two were having so much fun.
Oh, we were having a ball.
I wasn't leaving the table at all. I've had people turn to me in the middle of a game going, "This table, the table you're playing on is so outrageous right now. We're not leaving until this is over because we can't believe what's being said here." That was the way I was with you and your opponent.
Yeah,
that was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, that last game, it was a trash game. It didn't matter. We had already neither one of us are going to make the cut. And it was such a fun game because it was my opponent had the hottest dice I think I've ever seen. We were just laughing our heads off because out of 8-9 rolls in a row, I don't think he even had a single blank. And my green dice were nothing but just blanks. And so we were just laughing our heads off as we were watching this. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I mean, that's what you're there for, right? I mean, you're not at work, you're not doing this, and so you might as well enjoy yourself.
I want to say, I have never enjoyed watching a game as much as I did watching Tyler and Nathan play, but it was enhanced by having you sitting with me. And
that was good.
At one point, Kevin turned to me and he asked me a question, and it really made me think. He said, "What does this game mean to you? How are you going to take this game?" And I had to think for a second because I'm living my X-Wing life vicariously through my son.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
fuck
said,
off.
I said, so saith the top 30. This
Yes,
have your
twist the
own-
knife, rub it in.
You literally have your own fan club.
sure, and and you've seen them.
I've seen it.
But I told Kevin, I said, I want Tyler to win this so that he's got the win. But I'm not going to stomp around here if Nathan wins, because the upside is these two gentlemen now actually like each other. They converse with each other. They share points of view both during the game and after the game and before the game. And then it was just a joy just to sit there with Kevin and then have the rye whiskey handed up to us.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I shared this in the green room beforehand, so I'll repeat it here for those listening. But Nathan respects Tyler a lot, and Nathan didn't face any phantoms in the Swiss, and he beat one in the top 8. And I was talking to him just a little bit beforehand, and he basically told me, he's like, this is probably not. I'm gonna play this as hard as I can, but this is probably not going to go well for me, because he said, a phantom list, I beat these other phantom lists, but a phantom list flown by Tyler is a completely different situation. He's one of the best players in the world at flying swarms. He's been flying them for years. I'm probably not gonna be able to pull this one out. And so kind of going into it, he's usually right about those perspectives most of the time. And but it was an honorable thing to say about Tyler, and it's true. I mean, Tyler's been cracked swarms, and Tyler's been flying swarms forever. So playing anybody else in the top 8 or top 4 and phantoms, Nathan's kind of like I probably got this. But then when it just same list like with Tyler, he's like, this is completely different. It's a completely different situation.
And I got to have 4 phantoms, because like the joke is like, oh, you get to play your favorite ship in extended, blah. And I was like, but I did get to play my favorite ship, and I got 4 of them, and that was real fun.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that Tyler won. I mean, obviously, as Nathan's dad, I wanted to win. Nathan's been at the top table at Hoth now twice. He was top 4 once, but he's won other system open and whatnot. And Tyler, you've been so close so many times, and it was fabulous. I was really happy about that. Really happy about that. I mean, he lost against Will by a millimeter when Corin clipped a bomb that killed him, or he would have won that one. And that was actually the trip down to Disney World and all that type of stuff. Now it's you get to go to Minneapolis,
right? I will say
I've anybody in the that I would have wanted to win, honestly, really would have wanted Tyler to take that, and he did. So it was good. It's good.
That means a lot. And like you said, like you guys are saying, watching the game, like I think looking back, my favorite thing about the game is like anytime Nathan and I've played, it's a little bit different of a game, right? Because we've obviously known each other for 5 years now, right? We've played a bunch of games in competitive events and then in non-competitive side events and stuff like that. So like I remember back at Coruscant, we were playing on Gold Squadron, and so he has Supernatural Luke, and I have 4 Strikers and Whisper, right? And so it's a game of I need to corral these like heavily moving aces, right? And I need to Whisper not to get shot. And we hit a point where so my Whisper moves first because he has the bid, and I had set up my guns, and he's deciding what he wants to do with Luke, and I just ask him what's on the dial. I'm like, yeah, no, what's your move? And he's just like, oh, I'm doing a 1 bank right. And 2 people are watching our game. They're like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, well, I would barrel roll here because I think you can make the corner here if you then you make your move and then boost afterwards. He's like, oh, okay. Why would you help him? And I'm like, I mean, we're gonna walk through everything anyway. We might as well talk about it, right? It's we'll get there faster. It's fine. And the same thing was happening at at the final table, like I ended up noticing that like we had like a judge kind of like sitting at the table like wanting to do things, and we're just like, no, go away. Like, we're like, oh, there's like, because I went back and watched the game, and Dion's like, oh, they're not just gonna like eyeball this, are they? They're like, no, we 100% are. Like, nope, their template fits there. It's over the top. Pull it out. It's like, how are they not marking everything? It's like, we don't need to. It's fine. Like, we both agree like that's where it went. Like, let's just move with the game. And the same thing happened. Like, I think it was about 30 minutes left in the game. I was up probably 20-ish points, and like early in the game we were like, oh, we got 2 hours, so we weren't like really like heavy pace of play kind of a thing. Like, we weren't playing slow, but we weren't playing very quickly. And Nathan was like, oh, hey, can we play faster? I'm like, yeah, sure, 100%. Like, let's go quicker, because I'm not like, that's the same thing as I'm not gonna like drag out pace of play because I need Nathan not to have a couple extra turns, which also legitimately I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose another Phantom and a half, so I need as many turns as we can too, because like I need shots on this on.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question, Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
Did it make you more comfortable playing against Nathan or less comfortable playing against Nathan in that last final game?
You mean like being on a final table, or
just being on the final table, and it's like, here, was it more comfortable playing against somebody that you knew, like you watched tape on, or you've played against a lot?
I probably, so it very much,
even though it is
like
Nathan Eide, I mean,
yeah, no, I get what you're saying, like, because it didn't feel like a final table game.
Okay,
right? Like,
that's what I was getting.
But I don't know if I can't 100% say whether that was because I was playing Nathan and I have that familiarity, and like I just know that it's going to be a fine game. We're going to play through. It's even in the Coruscant game, right? Like, it was like Nathan hit a rock and like took a focus or something like that, and then everyone's like, "Oh, he cheated on stream." And I'm like, I didn't notice it either. He didn't mean to. It just like it happens, right? Like, we're playing the game. Like, sometimes you do stuff that's not right. Like, shit happens. I was like, I'm sure I've cheated like 3 times on stream too. I just didn't know. Whatever. And so that, like, I don't know if it was that, or I just was kind of, I don't know. It was just like, hey, we're just here playing today, you know?
Yeah. I mean, a familiarity between opponents.
Probably.
I mean,
I'm sure it helped. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, my favorite cheat on stream. So Tyler, you remember at Worlds that I don't remember who it was, but some guy got caught cheating on stream. For real, like they showed me
the name. We're not going to repeat it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
repeat it.
But this is what I do remember about it, because I was there. Nathan had to play him in the very next game.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's the win game.
And they didn't figure out what to do to assign him a loss or whatever until later. But the very next game, he had to play Nathan, and I got this text message, and he posted immediately on Facebook, because the online community is losing their minds about what they're saying.
They went nuts.
And I got this meme, and it said on the top, cheat on stream at Worlds, and on the bottom it said the sheriff is in town, and the picture was Nathan lining up to play him, and Nathan tabled him 200-0.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And he was out.
Yeah. Which also, the what was hilarious is, God, he's the world. He was.
Nam was. Yeah, he actually came up to me, Tyler.
Yeah.
And he said, it was so funny because he comes up to me and he's like, "You're Nathan's dad, right?" And he's like, "I'm a security guard full-time, and I can stand in one place for hours. And if with your permission, I want to stand behind Nathan the entire game to make sure that guy doesn't cheat on Nathan." And that's what he did. Like, and there's these, and I think even Kevin Leeds stood behind it, and they're both, and they're just staring.
Like, they're like parade rest, just like staring him down the entire game.
There's like these laser eyes coming to the table, and so yeah, that was great. The sheriff was in. Was in town.
Okay.
That was pretty awesome.
So I have to bring something up. I posted on the OCX Facebook page the other night. It says, post your favorite, best part of X-Wing picture. And everyone, I want to thank everyone for posting it. It's awesome because everyone sees like once every once in a while, but like to have them all there, it was fantastic. But there's one picture, and I can't remember who took it, but it's a low angle, and it's just got Nathan Eide like getting ready to set a dial, looking straight at the camera.
Oh, I feel like I
And
know
it's like,
I think it was against Chris Allen when Chris Allen was
yeah,
focusing
it might
against
be
him.
Chris Allen. It might be, but the picture just, that's what I see. Like when you meet Nathan Eide, you're like, really? That's Nathan Eide? Like that's Nathan Eide? But that picture encapsulates everything. It's like the eyes at you going, good luck. Like you're probably gonna lose this game.
That's John Wick exposed.
John Wick. Oh shit! Yes.
Oh, Nathan
Yes!
Eide, official John Wick Jr. of X-Wing.
Official nickname has been donned. Nathan Eide is now the John Wick of X-Wing. All right.
Kevin, do you have a dog that I need to be worried about?
All right. From henceforth, Nathan Eide shall be known as John Wick.
Yeah,
Don't talk bad about his corn. You won't like it. He talks bad about his corn.
Oh shit! 1.0, 2.0 killed his corn.
He actually had a pretty strong corn build that he was considering. He was playtesting it for quite a while, and he just didn't think that it was strong enough. But he was really considering playing it.
Man, you know what fits really well instead of Jake when you take Luke Gunner out of that Han Jake list? Corn Horn.
Yeah.
So Ryan Farmer asked, does that make Desmond Budget Wick?
Budget Wick.
Budget Wick. That's awesome.
Yes, I will deem that as well. Budget Wick.
So I think the big difference between the two with like between Jack and Nathan's lists I like Nathan's list better for like an all-comer for like fighting, but like, man, does Jack's just take a huge burden of execution out, right? Because like I think about that final game, like that final game I had control because I was able to get Nora to half and eventually kill her, and she was worth more than any of my Phantoms, right?
Yeah.
I don't have that option against a 144-point Han. And like going after Jake is just worthless because he's not worth half or more. You know what I mean? Like the point threshold of him is just, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Nathan said he had a choice to make, and he chose. He said he had to make a guess on what you were going to do, and he put Nora in that situation because I was like, man, you really put Nora like right in the crosshairs of all four of your Phantoms on that one turn. And he said, yeah, I guessed wrong. He said I had to decide like which way you were going to. Which way you were going to decloak, and he guessed wrong, and then he put Nora.
Well, so I assume he was just, like guessing, and the same thing, like because if you watch the stream back, like everybody, like Dion and everybody on stream thinks I'm going to decloak right to chase Han.
Yep.
And I knew that Han had like cleared, and I hadn't taken any actual damage yet, so that I could decloak left and just kind of like still stay in the like neutral space, right? Like okay, if I'm up here, I haven't committed to anything. We haven't really like traded, and then because if I decloak left or if I decloak right and go after Han, that Nora just fucks me for like 3 turns.
Yep.
So.
I remember that exact moment, like because everyone was like screaming at you, like, why?
Right?
Why are you doing
well,
this?
Like, because I'm safe. Like I like, and that's that. I mean, I don't know as that was it was the right call because it worked and I won and I'm the champion. But like, I don't know if that's correct. Like it felt like I know Han has to go south somewhere or just stay. So as long as I can go away from him to keep like that one bank or this, the 2 forward, and then I can kind of come up and 2, then he either has to stay here and take shots from multiple Phantoms at deep range, which I'm okay with trading, or he leaves, right? He can't shoot me. And any turn Han can't shoot me, it's probably okay.
Yeah. But at the same time, we were all going like, why doesn't he turn Han in, get that range 1 shot?
Well, he can't fight me range 1. Like,
but then it was also like, oh, he doesn't get any tokens. He gets no tokens. He's literally because he had to move his arc.
Well, sure, he still has force though, but like that's the thing.
Oh yeah,
is
he
the
did, didn't he?
like no, okay, so that and he has hound reroll. Like that's what people don't understand if you haven't played against this a couple of times because we play like I played a similar one in testing a few times where it's like you like I blocked him for like 3 turns in a row,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, and it doesn't fucking matter. Like he has force and honor reroll, so it's
Yeah,
still 3
yeah.
hits. Like, cool. He flipped up a crit that says he can't take actions. Well, I'll block him and he still can't. Sure, whatever.
I still get to flip a focus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still have a force. I still have Han reroll that pushes me to over variance. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's the difficult part about that Han because you like cool, you blocked him, but now it's a shot not going at him, and you're taking longer to kill him.
Yeah. Well, in that position, like my blocking Phantom was my full health Phantom.
Mm-hmm.
So like you'll see me try to like decloak and then 2 forward over, and I was just like, I don't care if I can't make it because like he'll go past me in the next turn. I've got all my Phantoms together again, and I kind of like get like that was I had to like act like take a minute and go, I'm winning the game. Like I am currently up on points. Like I don't have to fight, I don't have to engage. Like regroup and get all 3 of my ships together so that they're all shooting at once again instead of like the 2 and 1. And I probably should have done it a couple of turns earlier, but I think that was like kind of the tipping point.
So is the legendary story of oh my god, Tyler has his hat off true?
Oh no. So like I'll take my hat off if I got hot. And I'll take my hat off when I get close to the table because I'm just trying to like see things, right? And I'll just hit shit with the brim of the hat.
That's weird because no one has ever seen you do that.
Oh, I mean, it happens more than you think. I just had it off for a more extended period of time during that game, and like I after watching, like even Dion's like, "Oh my god, he took the hat off," and I was like, "I don't even remember taking the hat off." I was just like, "Nah, just set it over here. It's fine. Like whatever."
Well,
Do you remember your girlfriend telling you he's on a rock? Is that
God,
bad?
I love her. She played one game, like we played the demo game. She beat me. She was like, "All right, this was fun. I don't need to do this ever again." And one of her friends that works at O'Hare like plays. So Princess, if you're watching, hey, what's up? And so he was like. He was next to her and was talking about like what was going on, and then Kevin, you were kind of helping explain because you had your phone with the stream on it, right? So you could see dice and stuff like that.
Yep.
And so I mean, it's like hour 45 into the game or whatnot, and I take a decloak that I know is going to be close to a rock, but I can't be punished if I hit the rock, right? Like, so I'm just like, okay, if I hit it, it doesn't really matter. But if I don't, then I can have a position to fuck Jake. Is the idea. So I make the decloak and I flip the dial, and like Nathan just looks at me and he's like, "Dude, that's on a rock." I was like, is it?" And it's super on the rock. Like it's a solid like 1/8 of my base is on like corner over, and I was like, "Shit." And then I hear from the audience, I think he hit a rock. That's bad, isn't it? I remember that's bad. Like, thanks, honey. Yep, not good.
She was wondering why there was not very many females in the building. So I was trying to explain how that worked.
Yeah.
And I said if she wanted to go see the Warhammer side, I said I would walk with her and protect her.
Yeah. But so she might come to Gen Con this year. She'd never come to like a big con before. And
I
that
get
went better.
to meet her then, because for some
yeah.
reason
You were just
I
busy.
didn't get to meet her.
Well, she's adorable. You'd love her. She's
That's
great.
probably the reason
so you're
I didn't get to meet her.
Well, no. So you'll have a challenge because she was very very thankful that you were like talking to her and helping explain stuff, Kevin. And but she also loved Gordon. She was like, "Gordon's my favorite," because like her and Gordon geeked out about Disney World for like probably 45 minutes after I'd won.
Yeah, Tyler wins the championship, and Trisha gets interviewed by all the podcasters.
Yeah, my wife will be joining me at Gen Con again this year. So I didn't play at Gen Con last year, minus the 2.0 event, because I wanted to experience Gen Con for the first time, like not just playing X-Wing the entire time.
Yeah.
Now we have her brother and other friends that are going, so she can go do those things and I can play. But it's the first time I think she will be actively able to watch me if she wants to.
Yeah, and that was the first time Trisha had ever seen. So the idea was she was packing up her house to move, right? And her house was in Itasca, which is like 15 minutes maybe away from Schaumburg, right? So it's a fairly quick drive. And she was like, "Hey, I'll come see you on Saturday. Like, when are you going to be free?" And this, this was during the week or whatnot. And I was like, well, if I make the cut, then I'm going to be playing Saturday, but it'll, it's a single elimination. So I'll let you know when I lose, and then like you can come and hang out and see the stuff, and like we can talk to people or whatnot. But if I'm winning, like I'll let you know. And so she's like, oh, well, I'm going to be done around 3. And she messages like, well, I'm in the top 4, and I'm winning the top 4. So I'm going to be playing in the championship now. So you can come see me play in the championship if you want to. and then she did. So now she has to come to everything because she's the good luck charm.
Yes.
She came in and said, I made it here. I only had to talk to 2 people, and they kind of scared me.
Well, Tyler, Nathan's not going to be at Gen Con this year.
No?
So,
What?
Yeah, no,
Is
he's
Kevin
not.
gonna be at Gen Con?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my family and my daughter. So I haven't decided if I'm gonna play in the X-Wing tournament or not. But
Kevin, you
'cause
can stroll around with me. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
signing
cool.
up for the whatever it is.
yeah,
So
he's got a senior class trip, and it's kind of
We'll
the
do
last
it.
time he can
We'll
spend
do
with his buddies.
We'll do a
So
Kevin
that's fair.
coach thing. We'll just go around and bug
Nice.
people.
I don't know if I'm playing, right? Like I might play, I might
You
not, I might do
don't
other shit.
need
I don't have to, right? Like I can't.
Hey,
I'll play
hey.
the Saturday night. What's up?
I'm signing you up for WNRP stuff.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Wolfnet.
Battletech.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, whatever. That means I have to give Luke a Timberwolf to paint in proper colors. But anyway,
Luke's getting an order for me anyway,
is
so
he
don't
nice?
worry about it.
Because I might. Well, Luke, if you're listening, I might play Infinity. I've been trying to play Infinity for like 4 conventions in a row now. He has all my he's doing an amazing job, but it was also like I don't feel I can paint this at a high enough level for me to want to paint it yet, so I need to paint other shit to practice. And so we've been going back and forth with that. But regardless, because Infinity shit's real cool. Like I don't know if anybody plays Infinity out there, but no worries. Whoa, hold on.
Whoa.
Farmer, we'll find a place for you to stay, buddy.
No.
Like, that's not a problem.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say.
have a place for you to stay.
Okay,
There's-
sure, Coach.
Done.
Already done. Figured it out.
Christ.
Yeah, there's enough other
Fuck that.
people
You know
who
what?
have
Fuck this.
groups of
Fuck this.
X-wingers
Fuck
that
this
have an
shit.
Airbnb that will make room.
Right.
Bullshit.
No, that's false. You probably should, because Gen Con's amazing. But it regards wrapping back, I think Trisha might come down for like the Friday, Saturday or something like that of Gen Con. She's never been to Gen Con before. Then I think that'd be a lot of fun for her to like just see all the different board games and go pick out some cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, Farmer.
Just
What
give
is
me a
that?
second.
What was I had? Oh, what I would say is for everybody that doesn't need to play X-Wing but still wants to have fun, probably my favorite X-Wing, like just
That's
having fun
bigger
experience
than I
stuff.
thought. No, that's not right.
Yeah. Is I don't know what you're talking about, but cool. They always do a late night Saturday night Gen Con X-Wing event that's not FFG. It's other guys that run it, and it's either a Hunger Games or a Last Man Standing or those style of games, and they're always really fun. So I always go do those for my fun X-Wing extra stuff.
I've also heard of a lot of people playing this, and I haven't yet done it, but people get together and play Secret Hitler.
Oh man. Well, so that's just,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think
So
my-
Farmer needs to be here because he always
Yeah.
pipes up Secret Hitler.
so
Well,
good.
no, that Secret Hitler thing, like that's they take that shit seriously. Like there's
So very quick. My favorite moment of any Gen Con. My dad knows is laughing already. is playing Secret Hitler, because 2 Gen Cons ago I had a random buddy from college that was like, hey, he was like a board game guy, he's not into X-Wing or any of that kind of stuff, so he doesn't know any of the people, right? He's just like, hey, I want to come to Gen Con with you guys, can I come to Gen Con? We're like, yeah, sure, like we'll get you set up, it'll be great. So he comes, he stays in our room, and I don't stay with X-Wing people. I stay with Will, and then like my dad now as well. But I have a couple other like non-X-Wing guys that I always used to go play board games with and stuff, which I might go do this year at Gen Con. But anyway, this is the year we all bought Secret Hitler at Gen Con. Like that's when we found it. So we're playing Secret Hitler, and so Adam comes and sits down, and he's gonna play Secret Hitler with us. So it's basically like a bunch of people, including Paul Heaver and Adam, who doesn't know anybody, and we're all playing Secret Hitler. So for 2 games in a row, Adam has been not a fascist, has just been was it fascist and liberals? That anybody?
fascists and liberals.
Yeah, he's been a liberal, but he always gets 2 fascist agendas, so he can't like play the game, right? Like he's just like, I got 2 again, like so he like I have to pass. So and he's like getting frustrated. He's getting frustrated, right? Like, and you can tell he's getting frustrated. And the rest of us, we're just kind of like shooting the shit, having fun, no big deal, right? So it's the third game, and we're a couple cycles into the game, and Paul is like the chancellor or whatnot. So Adam gets 3 things, and he gets to pass them, and he's like, guys, I got a liberal agenda. I got a liberal agenda. It's so like I've got one. So he passes Paul like a blue and a red, and Paul looks at him and straight faces the table and goes, he's lying. He must be a fascist. He gave me 2, and flips the fascist because Paul's Hitler, but nobody knows this. And Adam loses his shit. He's like, fuck that guy. I am not a fan. Like, I gave him a blue one. I did. I gave him a blue one. He's bad. He's bad. And then like Paul wins the whole, like, the fascists win. Like he gets the final one put through or whatever. And like to this day, if I mention Paul Heaver's name, Adam will just be like, fuck that guy. I hate that guy. He's a terrible person. Which is made only better by the fact that it's Paul, right? The most like casual, like quiet, like nice guy you've ever met. Just like the straight poker face of, nah, he's lying, guys. He gave me 2 fascists.
All right. We're going to wrap this baby up, but what I want to know from each and every one of you, episode 9 trailer, guys.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. I've seen all the memes, and I can say that they're all correct.
Did you see Ryan's recut?
What?
Oh, Ryan, link it in chat. Link it in chat.
You can't link in chat, unfortunately.
Ryan Ledford did
Farmer.
Ryan Farmer does things with movies.
Like what?
Let me give you a little bit of preview. No.
Oh Jesus! Let Soontir die.
Good. It's let
him die.
Here. Wow.
God damn it.
You have the interceptor flying in, right? And Rey lights her lightsaber or whatnot, but the whole time the interceptor's flying, you just hear the fucking A-Team theme. Rising,
because
rising,
it starts with every generation has a legend.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I think Ryan Farmer doesn't really have a real job. I mean,
pinned announcement on Facebook on the Minoc page.
Yeah,
there you go.
Go watch Minoc, it. It's like the first thing
He's a part of the OCX. He can share that shit over here. Send a little traffic our way. You know,
he probably did.
I'm sorry, Mark. What was that handwritten note you had?
Wait.
We have to talk in order.
No. I'm presenting.
Oh, okay. You presented. There you go, Mark. Go for it.
Hilarious.
Join the United Military Front of Communists at Facebook.com. It's called the Uncle Mark Fan Club, everyone. No soliciting, as he solicits his fan club. You're going to start giving prizes. I'm sorry. I see the no prize thing, but you're going to start giving prizes out.
You want me to hand out some of Nathan's dice?
Yes.
He's got
yes.
Many
dice. Right. Here, so I grabbed the here, let's see here.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a live show only. I have a number in mind. Oh my god!
These are just some of the. I just quick grabbed some.
Oh my lord!
And he's the cool thing is actually he has won every single type of dice they've ever had, including like this baby right here was only in season 2. It was the original gem die. I don't know how many of these are even floating around anymore.
I have one of those.
So he's got that set. But
I have one, not the
anyways, I suggested to Nathan that when he needs to pay for college, he can start selling these puppies instead of coming to Pops.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, it's official. I hate Nathan.
It's so hilarious. He dumps all these dice on the table. And
I'm legit thinking that I'm just gonna TO my hyperspace trial just so I can get a set of dice.
Yeah.
He needs to start doing a Marcel thing where he just has a bag and grabs just random dice out and throws them, and then puts it back in the bag.
Oh no, it works better with the way he does it.
Texting random numbers.
It works better because Nathan just walks up to a table and then he just dumps all the dice out and it's just like, no, okay, I guess I'll use these two for now, just for the intimidation factor.
Yeah, he dumps the whole thing, but barely uses it. Whereas I'm the nice conservative person who just grabs the actual amount of dice I'll need maximum for defense or offense ever in the game.
You know what he should do? He should just take a pair of the dice pack and just still in the case, just cut it open and I'm going to use these today. Just the Uber, fuck you. Oh. Okay.
Okay, Coach, did you open it up? He shared it to OCX.
He opened it. I don't know if we have the opportunity to raffle the dice off.
No. Farmer shared the video.
No, Farmer shared the video.
Oh, okay. I don't care what Farmer fucking says or does.
You do, I promise.
You know what? He's got his own little happy family that's about everyone. But you know what? Here at OCX, we're a little more special. We're a little more chaotic than they are. They're true
drunk.
Neutral.
So what you're saying is the video's missing a beer.
Yeah.
Holy shit! That actually is not. You're not wrong. The video needs to be edited with, instead of lighting the lightsaber, fucking Ray just cracks a beer and then backflips onto a moving.
There we go.
Squints.
OCX edition. Every time a lightsaber cracks, it's just a fucking beer bottle. So reactions from episode 9. That's what we're gonna end on. We'll go left to right. Kevin, what'd you think?
I'm a fan, so I thought it was great. I don't get all wound up about whether that bombs can drop in space and that we can hear lasers shoot and well, if we could just go to warp speed and kill the largest ships in the universe, why haven't we always been doing that? And Leia floating in space, and I don't get I'm a fan, so I just thought I was great. I turned I got a huge sound system in my basement here with an 18-inch subwoofer, and I just cranked it up, and babies were jiggling in their beds on the second floor because I had it so loud when I first watched it, and I was like, whoa! So I just thought it was great.
Kevin, were you a Star Wars fan from day one?
Well, that's actually how we got started in X-Wing, actually. A friend of mine, we're board gamers, and he knew we liked Star Wars, and he's just like, let me show you these cool Star Wars ships I got. And he showed them to me, and so I bought Nathan a starter set for Christmas. And
but I mean, and then when the movies came out, were you? I mean,
oh yeah, I've always been. Yep,
you're slightly older than I am, not by much, but just a little bit. I mean, Mark is out there in no man's land, so we don't have to worry about him.
He's pushing the ARP card limit.
I mean, let's be real.
Were you
Mark
a
should be a
Star Wars
grandpa at this
fan?
point.
Were you a Star Wars fan as a kid growing up, kind of a thing?
Yeah, I was. Not as much as I am now, because now, my basement is filled with, looking out my office here, and I have, there's about 24 X-Wing plaques lining the top of the wall there, and I got X-Wing, big, huge paintings from worlds that are framed. And
is it going to be? Is it going to be sad when he takes those all to college with him?
I don't think he's going to, but I don't know what I'm going to do with them all. And here I put this little, I just grabbed a few things off the, off the trophy wall.
Hold on, let me present you. Oh my God.
So it's, there's just there's all sorts of, X-Wing, whatever stuff, floating all around the basement of this house. And I don't know. But yeah, we're fans. Can't wait for the movie. It's going to be awesome. And now that J.J. Abrams is back in the the saddle. He's gonna fix the storyline and whatever. You know, the thing is, if you do the same thing, you get criticized for doing the same thing, and if you do something different, you get criticized for doing something different. So maybe they'll have another Death Star in the.
They do. It was in the trailer.
Oh yeah, that's right. The piece that fell to the piece that fell to the ground.
It's Death Star 4.5.
Right. So,
Mark,
Hey,
thoughts?
so I read somewhere sometime that somebody was complaining about Star Wars movies coming out like every year and a half or something like that, and they should, like the old days when it would take them 3 or 4 years to put them out and take their time. And I'm 62 years old. Run them puppies out just as fast.
Mark, Papa Tippett, that's
I don't
awesome.
want to miss any of them. You know,
They better get them done.
get them done. Get this.
Well, I can
story
still
done.
hear.
And I was hooked in 1977 at age 20. I shared my love for it with Tyler.
And
I remember him telling on episode 5 of OCX about he broke into one of my VHS sets to watch a movie, and you guys wondered what oh my God, is Ryan Farmer with us?
Shut up. He is a live listener only.
It's Force Ghost. It's fine.
Force Ghost.
Tyler, somebody just suggested in chat that you should adopt Nathan. I think
Right.
now that he's going to college would be a great time for you
Right.
to adopt him. And now that you got, your high-paying job and everything that you do, you could actually support him.
Ironically, 1st of April, I paid off my student loans.
Well, no, it's perfect
Fuck
timing.
you. Okay, first of all, fuck you.
Come on, Tyler, show some responsibility. In the community
there's no clap there.
and bring
That's
Nathan
straight up
along.
fuck you.
Why? Is that you haven't finished paying off your student loans? Fuck you.
I will, believe me, everyone in the world will know when I paid off my student loans.
Fair.
Well, is there anything else you want to know while the pops are on?
I want to know what list are you looking forward to, Kevin? What are you going to fly? What are you flying on hyperspace?
I have, honest to Pete, I just know I'm not going to probably fly what I just flew because, honest to truth, I don't play enough. So there's some people who are naturally good at this game, right? And they don't have to play as much as others. But in general, my experience has been is that the top players, they put their time in, they put their reps in. I have an old grainy photo, and it's one of my favorite photos in X-Wing. And I have this game table that I bought that's downstairs. You may have seen it when Zach and Nathan played the crate final or whatever. They streamed it from my basement.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I came out of my house. It was really late at night. And Nathan usually doesn't stay up very late, but he was prepping for, I don't know, for some tournament. And I came around the corner, and it was everybody was in bed. It was completely silent at night, and he's leaning over the game table with his two fists like on the table, studying the layout of what he had going on because he plays against himself to get reps in, and he'll actually like think through both sides. And I just sat there, and he didn't know I was watching him, and I snapped this picture of him leaning over the table, and I was like, to me, whether it was Nathan or something else, it was like, this is the preparation that makes champions. Like they put in the reps. And I've heard others say, and Nathan say, like, you don't know your list until you've played it, like, I don't know, X hundred times or something. That's when you know your list. And that's when, and I'm not there. I don't do that. But that's, I don't know, that's always stuck with me. I mean, Tyler, how many swarm reps have you flown, right? I mean,
well, so like it's interesting because like I was having I forget who I was talking to, but there was a thread somewhere or whatnot that was talking about like reps with a specific list, and I've been a big proponent of dedicated practice. I've been like focusing on that and other aspects of life, which is so like the good example of it is like for basketball, right? Like you've got the kid that's a gym rat, and he's like, oh, he's always in the gym and he's always shooting. And like that kid might be okay, but the kid that's always in the gym that are taking game style shots is leagues ahead, right?
Yep.
And so, like, for example, like I had only flown, I hadn't actually like on a table flown 4 Phantoms at all, and I'd only like put it on Vassal a couple of times just to like know what my formation is. But I had 200 like tournament games with Whisper, right?
Absolutely.
And so it's like I know where the Phantom decloaks can go. I know, and it's not anything to extrapolate from flying with 1 to flying a swarm box, right? Like I know how my swarm fits. I know where my spacing for my turns and whatnot. Now I just have that extra decloak in there. So I was able to very quickly jump into that. Versus if you asked me to go play like a Rebel Beef style, like 5-ship Rebels kind of a thing, like I don't have any experience flying that. So I'll be able to put it down and do okay with it, but I'm not going to 100% know, okay, I need to get here. This is where I have to be. And I know what my shots are going to be.
Yeah. And, Nathan flies like literally everything. Like he's not one of these folks that, gets on social media, finds out what the best list is, and then like practices that and comes to the tournament with that.
Yeah.
He's always flying jank. He actually, I think, enjoys the list building. So when we first got into this game, I was so interested because like I wanted to tear in and like play with the ship, right? Like this is such a cool ship. I want to play with the ship. Nathan never looks at the ships. He like opens the box and grabs the cards, and then he sits down on the couch and he's sitting there with the cards trying to put stuff together. And I'm like, it's about the ship. And so maybe that's the difference why I suck and he's good. But so he really enjoys that list building and kind of putting that stuff together. So you're right, Todd. I mean, that's where you get, it's like second nature on whether the ship is going to clear or whether you can do this or when he flew, when that Racklow list, so early on in 1.0 with the Vader, where Vader could just like do 2 damage and automatically do a damage, and so there was a crew that came from Minneapolis and they knew what Nathan was flying, so they had these lists like just to take out Corrin because they're like, this is the competition. And he do that list so well that even when that's when they would zero in on, he would actually like because of the regen, he knew that he had so many turns and he would position Corrin, and he end up in 2 games in a row he flew their decimator off the board because how he positioned Corrin. So there was only so many turns, and he knew that they weren't going to turn because of what they were trying to do, and he ended up positioning Corrin, and they couldn't make the turn, and they ended up putting a corner of the decimator off the board. And so it's just like, it's things like that. Like, it's so cool in the game how you can actually find different ways to win.
Awesome. Kevin, you discovered the taboo phrase to offer in any ending of any episode. Tyler, what do you think? All right. Mark, you know what? We're going to skip, unless anyone has some glaring things to say about episode 9 trailer. Before we unleash the ungodliness of Ryan Farmer on our very good listeners.
I'm excited for 9.
I let Nathan go into the hands of Dion and Farmer, so I trust Farmer.
Oh, everybody trusts Farmer.
He's the true neutral nice guy.
Why would you?
Right?
He's neutral objective or whatever the fuck that chart said.
I will say I'm excited for episode 9. I enjoyed the trailer, but I'm like way more excited for the Mandalorian. Like I'm super in. So I don't think they've officially released the preview, but you can find.
All right, because I know Farmer is just fucking going irate right now because he wants to join in on all of this. We're gonna do quick shout outs, right? Kevin, you're the honored guest. Shout outs, buddy.
Shout outs to my peeps. So big shout out to Dion, and especially for his big win that he got. Love Dion. Farmer, and this guy doesn't play competitive X-Wing anymore, but he is the one who I kind of credit with mentoring Nathan, and that's Ryan Krippendorf. Some of you might know Ryan, and has continued to be a friend. We all know Ryan Krippendorf. Yep. Yeah, and as long as you don't put him in a judge situation or where he can get too excited, but he he's been special to us in our family. So yeah, there's a lot of other people. Francois in Chicago, I love him. I feel bad actually that I beat him at Hoth because he probably would have made the cut, but I got lucky. I shot 3 dice out the rear unmodded from quick draw, and he blanked on Vader, and he ended up getting triple stressed, and that was the end. But yeah, so those are my shout outs. Love the community, and thank you for everybody who's so kind, especially, there's some folks in the international community too that have just, I don't know, they've been so kind to Nathan. It's been really special. There's been some moments as a dad observing and watching my son grow, and watching, I think that putting your child in a position where they have to learn how to handle losses, and if they're good, they got to learn how to handle victories. And that has been, special for me to watch, and also, talk to Nathan about that. And, when he lost the game against Paul Heaver at Worlds, remember he threw all the dice into the bucket and he raised Paul's hand and everything. I've never shared this story publicly, and it for a while it was actually kind of caught me in the throat. But after that was over, the senior vice president of marketing for FFG pulled me aside, and he had tears in his eyes, and he just said, and all he said to me was, I hope that my 13-year-old son can handle a loss like that, like your son did. And that has been one of the most powerful moments, and I will never forget that. And I shared that with Nathan. I told her, Nathan, it only goes down from here. She'll, in order to make it there again. But I said, you're going to have to learn how to handle the losses in life, because you have a lot more losses in life than you have victories. And if you can learn how to handle those losses with grace, then you'll know how to treat others when you win and they're in that position. So I don't know how I got off on that bunny trail, so apologies, but that's kind of what I'll close with.
That was a hell of a bunny trail, bud.
Yeah. And what's really funny? So after that, this is hilarious. This is going to sound like looking a gift horse in the mouth, but that same guy afterwards, so he saw Nathan's templates. Now this is the first year first year he was playing it when he made, I think it was top 60 world, whatever. Nathan's paper templates were literally worn through, and he goes, the guy's like, he sees him and he's like, oh my God, we're gonna take care of that for you. And so he says to some other FFG minion, go into the back room, and and I'm like, so I'm expecting something kind of cool, and he comes back with a bag of paper templates.
Right.
Wade, it had to be Wade.
I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna give you all. He hands Nathan this other.
He gives him brand new cardboard.
Little did he know, Nathan had been using those cardboard just long enough to make sure that they were all advantage.
Yeah, I was just.
He's like, I got them worn down. Yeah. I can fit this.
Nathan
you should look at his 1.0 Corin dial. It is hilarious. It's actually worn through almost to be unusable. It's hilarious.
Just spins.
Mark, so that's my call out. So I love this community. Thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure. Tyler, congratulations.
Hey,
love your brother and Papa Tyler. Yeah,
Kevin.
Good. Yeah.
Once you're on OCX, you're guaranteed to be on again. I'm sorry. It's just the way we roll. So when that messenger comes up, Coach, just let you know, hey, we need somebody to lighten the mood, tell some good stories.
Well, we got plenty of stories, that's for sure.
And I don't need to hear Nathan's stories. I want to hear Kevin's stories too, And we got a lot of those. I think we got more than we bargained for. So.
Yeah, you got that opening one, right?
Whoa.
I don't think we did. We share that. Was that in the green room, or was that actually on?
We'll cut it to make sure it's in the show.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess
Tyler was here.
Any future career prospects for me are shot if someone now YouTube's my name, right? And
if you want to sire an X-Wing prodigy,
yes, this is how you do it.
Jesus.
Hey, Mark, How did it go with Tyler?
Yeah.
I'm out.
Were,
Oh
you,
no! Oh
were you
no!
on? Were you on top?
Oh
Because-
no!
All right, Mark. Shout outs.
Shout out to Kevin for coming and joining the madness tonight. Brother, you are part of the Statesman League. You are welcomed with wide open arms. He doesn't qualify for age yet, but he has a child that's very competitive, so he gets ushered in immediately. Thank you for joining us, brother. It was a pleasure sitting with you, where we both got to smile a lot. I love the picture of the four of us together.
Yeah, I have it.
Have gotten a lot of compliments on that and comments on the Facebook thing. Was that my book, my Facebook thing, whatever that is. And the shout outs, gosh, the tournament goers, the ones that play every game, the ones that D&D, the ones that hang around. Gosh, it's so much fun to talk to people, trade stuff, throw poker chips at people, get cards.
Yeah, I'm going to put that picture up if you can change the focus to my camera.
Oh yeah!
Hey,
So there it is.
I helped. I took the picture.
you did. All right.
So there it is, guys. That's a memory I'm gonna hold.
That's all for me.
Yep. Hey, I have one other shout out. Can I put in a late shout out? And that's to Simeon. I just wanted to do a shout out to Simeon. We connected offline, and I actually have Simeon's robot chips. So gonna do something special with those for him.
Tyler.
Yep. So you guys were joking about Patreon / GoFundMe's. If anybody actually listens to Gold Squadron, after the last episode, you shouldn't. But
Oh,
they don't think Han's as bad as it is. I promise it is. Everyone out there, take it to Denver. If you're going to Denver, fly Fat Han. But they announced that they're doing a Team USA going to the European Nationals and the European Team Tournament. And I'm about 90% sure I'm going.
oh man!
So that's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be in August.
Wow.
So yeah, that's my shout out.
So are you saying you have a GoFundMe page to help pay your way?
I don't know yet. We'll figure that.
Well, let me know.
Probably not, but maybe.
All right. Well, if you do, I'll chip in, Tyler.
It might be a GoFundMe for Polish beer. Like I can get me there, but everyone else get me drunk. That seems more appropriate for the OCX.
I know they asked
There you go.
Nathan to go to that, and I don't know if it's going to work with his schedule. Unfortunately,
Sure.
he's got something else going. He really wanted to go, and
Yeah.
he'll have more opportunities.
Man,
so.
if it wasn't a year, me and my wife are trying to buy a house.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is, it's like a lot of stuff have lined up, like paying off student loans, where I'm just like, oh, well, I have that extra money every month now. Maybe I can go to Poland.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or you could adopt Nathan and pay for his school.
Wait a
All
minute. Does that mean I have a grandson now, or just another?
Well, I mean, like,
Am I kicked out of the Statesman's Club if Tyler adopts Nathan?
well, it gets weird because like, isn't Zach my cousin? So then, does that make Zach Nathan's second cousin
Oh,
once
man.
removed? I don't know how that works.
Do you want Zach to be a family member?
Well, no. So Zach used to always Zach started the Uncle Mark thing.
No, sort of.
Well, okay, someone else started it, but Zach was the loudest person that everyone heard yelling Uncle Mark all the time.
Sure.
To the point where, I mean, this is a couple years ago. It was like, I don't know if it was Gen Con or it was like Chicago Regional or something like that. I had people walking up who's like, "Is Zach your cousin?" Like, no, me and Zach are not related. Everyone just calls my dad Uncle for some reason.
What happened was the first time Zach and I played at that Milwaukee Regional, I was leaning over the table looking at something, and he thought he missed something and hopped up real quick and hit me in the nose with the top of his head. And,
Oh,
that's right.
And he thought I was mad at him. And so for like the next year, every time we'd see him, he'd run up and give you a hug, and he'd look at me, and go, "Hello, Mr. Tippett," and walk away. And finally, like a year later, I said, "Zach, just call me Uncle Mark." And he goes, "What?" I said, "Just call me Uncle Mark. I'm not mad at you or anything." He goes, "I get to call you Uncle Mark?" I said, "Yeah, you can call me Uncle Mark." And that's where it all started.
And then Zach, in true Zach fashion, was very loudly calling him Uncle Mark.
Yep.
All the way across the game center.
Mm-hmm.
All right, where are we at on this shout out?
I let Tyler go next, so I think it's just me and then you.
Go ahead, Ryan.
So, yeah, definite shout out for Kevin to be on the show for the first time. Lots of great stories and great to have you here. Special shout out to a new podcast that is, I think, about 10 plus episodes in right now. The Florida Man Plays X-Wing. Seems like a solid group of dudes. A couple of them forum goers. I recognize some of the names the guys been posting on the FFG forums about their episodes. They seem weekly at least, or bi-weekly at least. And their little shtick, at least so far, is their commercial break goes through like just the crazy Florida news. Like has a news blip of like some dude doing something crazy in Florida that can only ever be in Florida. So it's fun. Check it out.
I will second that. I lived in Florida for 2.5 years. It was the best TV ever. Just the Florida news, because people in Florida are fucking crazy. I mean, there's no other way to put it. So, keep mine short. Shocker. Just want to thank everybody who's watching. I want to thank all my guests. I want to thank everyone who's listening. I'm sorry that I haven't been on as much, and we're going to, in the future, change that. So I just want to thank everyone out there right now. Keep playing X-Wing. Hyperspace Trials, baby. Just have fun. I think we're going to end the show. Kevin, we do a little... Now, I'm trying to figure out... Okay, the other Kevin left. That's good. There was 2 Kevins there. Kevin, we like to do a little thing called the old Yub Nub. All you need to do is scream Yub Nub as loud as you can and try to put the song inside of your head. And we're just like to have fun with it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yub Nub.
Yub Nub.
Dub Dub. Tyler's back in time. Oh, shit. Jesus.
That is
I don't even know what that was. Yub Nub.
that was
Yub Nub. Yeah. Done. That was the best Yub Nub ever. Hold on. I want to get. I don't want to. Hold on. Ryan, you have to unmute yourself for this Yub Nub.
Is he there?
Is he there? I don't know. Nope.
Oh,
he's
he's
there.
unmuted.
Yub
Okay.
Nub.
Ryan gets his own Yub Nub.
Yub Nub.
Oh fuck, that was weak. Jesus, just like your profile picture. Good lord.
Oh, it's a very professional profile picture.
It is a terrible Okay, I almost forgot to write this Yub Nub down. By the way, fucking pen.
God,
That's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the OCX.
So,
Tippett, it works on there.
Tippett, you may have seen this, and Farmer might have as well. But I just decided, like, I'm gonna put up a poll. Like, what's people's early priorities for like what needs to be changed?
Jesus.
And
I think I did, and I think I hated everything, because isn't it Leia and Rebel Beef?
Highest priority, right? I mean, granted, all of them need to be adjusted, but for people's own priority scales, what do they feel is things that need to be changed the most in July between Phantoms, Leia Beef, and Fat Han 2.0? And Phantoms have 35 votes, Leia Beef has 26, and Fat Han is 16.
Yeah.
Granted,
Well,
I'm
okay,
pretty
so
sure
that's-
I'm pretty sure everyone wants all of those, but their highest priority is Phantoms, then Leia Beef, then Fat Han.
Right. Okay. So this is statistics. Like, I guarantee. So this will harken back to what Kevin was saying, is like he wishes like the the online side of the community was slightly less toxic at times and that kind of a thing,
Sure.
which I agree with. But a lot of it.
I can feel a Tyler rant coming on.
This is a good rant. This is a good rant.
I feel it. I feel it right now.
It's right there.
But I want to stop you, and I want to go, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the shit show. First of all, newcomer Ryan Farmer.
What up, buddy?
Of a new and upcoming podcast. It's called the Minox Squadron Podcast. They're brand new, right out of the bag. They have this wacky, crazy guy called D-Yoon on. He is hilarious.
Actual dragon.
He's an actual dragon. But hey, Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on, man.
You need to up your voice because
how's that? Is that better?
There you go. That's
Sorry.
the Ryan I know from the pre-tapes he sent me to get, to make sure that, he sent me some pre-tapes, some recorded stuff, make sure that he could cut his chops in the X-Wing podcast community. And I says, you got some talent, kid. You got some talent.
The coach casting couch is amazing.
Oh my God! No! Don't say that!
Let me tell you.
You fucking jerk! You know what's gonna happen now?
A black leather couch is gonna happen? What?
Oh yeah. Welcome to the OCX coaches casting couch.
Such a dick. You're
OCX After Dark? What?
OCX After Dark with coach in the casting couch.
I've been trying to steer this motherfucker in like a general area.
You're the one that sent me the chat link, man. This is your fault, not mine.
Oh, this is
Ryan's just happy. Ryan's just happy he's not on a podcast he can't swear.
Fuck yeah, man.
Shit now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's not like Tyler Tippett didn't get in his good fuck in the Minox one.
Like we marked it. We're like, we'll go back and edit it. Then he pushes it. And
Didn't happen.
I super didn't feel like editing.
Shit, I didn't fucking bleep out your fuck. It's like, sorry guys.
I was like, it's already bouncing. It's fine.
Oh no, that's
you know sorry, what? Children at home.
No problem. They're gonna post this on the Minox page, not on our page.
Guys, I've got to go to work tomorrow. I'm going to bail out now.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna do that too. I have a 7 a.m. meeting I got to lead. So
bye, guys.
Oh boy, see you guys.
All right, thank you so much for having us. Really appreciate it.
Bye, Dad.
We're gonna have you back.
Yeah, it was a great episode having you on.
Mark, we'll have you back too.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm a co-host.
All right, guys.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
God bless. All right,
bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're still watching live, I was supposed to say this during the recorded part. Fuck. Whatever. Fuck it. Let's just go. All right.
All right. I'm in. I'm ranting now.
All right, wait, hold on.
Ranting.
Quick before the rant, because it's gonna be like 15 minutes, and I'll forget this.
5.
Sure. So I'm very sure that voting is more based on people who haven't faced Han and who have dealt with Rebel beef and dealt with Phantoms already.
100%. And for Michael in chat, that's going, there hasn't been enough data yet to definitively say Fat Han is broken. That's straight shit because it was.
I don't want to go through the data. I don't want to.
But I'm saying like it's there. Like you can. Like we've known about this for over a month. It was at Crate Cup and on the winning Crate Cut team. It went undefeated up until the final game at Adepticon. It won the the European largest system open, and there were multiples of them that were close to the cut. Yeah, like there was like 3 or 4 more that were either in cut or 4-2. Like
winning an entire event is really hard, and any player that can do that is still really good, no matter what list they bring.
Yep,
the fact that list is showing up in a win percentage that is so high in this case, and Phantoms, who, as you said, time on target extremely high and extremely efficient in murdering anything they look at, can't do that to a ship is insane.
And there was also someone just won like the Wisconsin, like it won Wisconsin.
Nick Tobin, but it wasn't Han. It was like Lando, and I think it was. It wasn't
So someone said it was. I think it was Tobin, and someone said it was Handbrake on still. So it's like, I mean, I'm looking at some of the other data, but like we've known about this for over a month, and it's very good. Like this isn't a reaction to like, oh, it just won this European thing, so it must be broken. Like, no. We've known it's broken since they allowed the cane and inertial dampeners ruling to be legal.
Well, see, even before then, because before the first points change happened, like we were building lists for Outrider Cup, so we're trying to figure out some Rebel lists, and I was like, so R2D2 crew and inertial dampeners means I can just always do this?
Yep.
And that's why I think the Kanan thing needs to be reverted.
Yeah.
But that I still don't think that's enough because R2D2 inertial dampeners is still infinite, and you inertial dampeners doesn't say you can't do it even if you're stressed. So
it's just a white move. Yeah, he can just sit there. Yeah.
And you just get
that at least has a negative to where you get multiple stress. But like I'm a big fan of Paul's idea to just cut the illicit slot off of anything that's not scum. Like just nobody else gets illicits. That's scum's thing. Like I'm super in.
I mean, is it an issue on anything? So the only other thing
it's not is it an issue? It is a potential issue. Like, you know what I mean? Like you have scum doesn't have access to a lot of the things that rebels do. That makes rebel bullshit. And when you give them options for both, you're just opening the door to find the next Enguru.
Yeah, it's not overly oppressive. It's not overly oppressive by any means right now, but it is like one of the tricks of having illicits on another rebel ship is the U-wing that could rotate, drop a rig cargo chute like that. That mean it's not terribly insane like Han inertial dampeners right now, but it feels bad.
All right. Question for Farmer. With the points change with Leia and Upsilons and all these other things, without being the regular scheduled point change, are we going to see point changes like this in the future, or was this kind of a one-off?
It's hard to say, right? Like it depends on. I think if we get Denver, and I think there's a German system open too, if I'm right about that.
Like the same weekend.
Yeah, if both of those tournaments occur, and the only two lists have any kind of substantial results are Fat Han and Four Phantoms, I do think they'll take a legitimate look at it. Because listen, FFG wants their game to be like healthy, you know? What they really don't like, it's not that they don't like good lists, they don't like oppressive, unfun lists, right?
Yeah.
And if all they see out of these next two tournaments are like, I don't know, are unfun like Han mirrors and Four Phantoms, I think they actually will take a look.
Yeah, like I said on my knock a couple days ago, like, man, if you thought like watching a Phantom mirror on Squadron when they go and squat, like when they're casting, like you don't remember Wave 4 of 1.0 when we had Fat Han mirrors and they literally just float next to each other doing 1 damage and then regenerating the shield over and over. Like that's literally the fucking game. Like it's literally Adepticon last year where we have Miranda circling Miranda, not dealing damage.
Yep. Right.
Question 2, Farmer.
Yeah, what's up?
Is Tyler Tippett the podcast whore of this week?
I mean, Tyler Tippett can be the whore anywhere, anytime, man, when it comes to X-Wing.
So,
anytime whore. I like that.
I was looking at the FFG schedule because I was generally curious, like after Denver and Germany, what other system opens come next?
Yeah, what's next, right?
So after that, there's May 18th and 19th in Sweden. There's 25th and 26th in Atlanta. May 31st, June 2nd in Seattle. So, I mean, there's enough before July for them to be like, all right, we don't only have a couple more to deal with this. Like, we have a substantial.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's not just like, okay, after this weekend with smooth sailing until Worlds or Gen Con. Like, who even knows what Gen Con is, right? Like,
yeah, like, there's still like even after Seattle, then there's one in Italy in June, then there's one in Spain in June, and then like finally end of July is France. So there's like that gap between the whole month of no system opens, but there is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more system opens between Denver and Germany and the rest of the field until the expected points change.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess what I'm saying is that with the Upsilon change, at least we know FFG is following the pattern.
Yep.
They're paying attention.
The other one that I like is the fact that they had the Han or the Dash Orc
Yes.
ruling.
Yeah.
And then they came back and they're like, nah, that's actually not how that works.
Well,
so
they
it's-
went to the official rulings. They're like, nah.
It's crazy how I've seen people online saying like, no, they won't change Kanan interceptors. They've already clarified it. They won't change. I'm like, did you not know that they
It happens.
that? But yeah, like I'm like, it's the examples right here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, Patrick. That, like the Han problem is not a points thing because like you can fit stupid big bids in there. Like
Yeah.
think of like Jack's list had just extra shit that didn't need to be there.
Yeah,
Right,
but it's not a points problem. This isn't. I mean, it's a little bit of points problem, but inherently, it's mostly a
An interaction.
It's
an
interaction
And
problem.
like my favorite argument is the like, well, this is why no one wants to play extended, and extended's fucking shitty. Like this is one card
yeah.
away from and that one card is coming in the fucking Ghost expansion, motherfucker.
Yes, it is.
Like it's gonna be here in Wave 5. So get ready, have fun.
Luckily, Wave 5 is after the points, so even if we don't get the emergency, we will have a points adjustment before then.
Okay, this just brought up a subject. Ryan, you were there. Are we really getting packs?
Yeah. It's soft confirmed. Like they mentioned K2SO being like, yeah, we realize like this is someone that we see like fly a lot of. Like we know there are pilots.
Okay, are they going to be random or are they going to be like this is for what?
The implementation doesn't seem to really have anything
because there's a store
because it's never been.
It seems like me bending over backwards and going, yes, FFG, I will pay whatever money for these for me to this.
I mean, there's no way to know like how they'll do it, but like speculation wise, like I think that they'll just be like maybe every wave will have like an additional like pilot pack that has an assorted amount, not limited to factions or whatever, just one, so you don't have to buy like 8 of these things. And like reasonably, I'd rather them do this than like release another. Like think of the alternative, right? Like how what are in your opinion the correct ways they can introduce new pilots in the game? And the only options I can think of is 1, some sort of squadron or aces pack with an alternate paint scheme, which would be way more expensive. 2, on re-releases of ships, like do new pilots, but then you never really get to do that again once you set that precedent. Or 3, do like cardboard packs and do like 1 a wave or something like that. I can't think of a better way to do it.
Or 4, you just don't do it.
Or that's silly though. Come on, coach.
Come on. No, seriously. Look at a store. Like, okay, are they going to be random card packs?
They'll never be random.
Random. Like no.
If they're not random, okay. If they're not random, then I'm totally behind it.
No, there's no way.
Random.
Sorry. There's no way they do random. Like that'd be absurd. Like a la like Magic or sorry, I misunderstood.
You're literally I deal in random fucking card packs every day, and it kills me.
This is going to be a Rebel pilot pack and Empire pilot pack.
I am 100% behind that. Then.
I'm not entirely sure if that's true, Tyler. Because
but so it might not be like all of the Empire. They might go like
it has to be faction specific.
Well, no,
I don't know. Again, I don't know if
doesn't
that's
necessarily
true.
have to. It could also be like a wave thing. My thought is they'll have it for factions, and it'll be like this is faction pilots 1, and then maybe the next wave they'll have faction pilots 2. Right, so you won't get every new pilot, but like we'll get like a slew of because it can come out with other shit, right? So it's like we just get an interceptor, and then the next wave we can get more.
Like I don't know, like it could be just an assortment of them. Maybe they do in factions. Factions is probably the other idea, but like in my mind, like you again, they don't have to in this way. They don't have to release a new fire spray to get Django Fett into the game. You know what I mean? Like they don't.
Garner Jax.
Yeah, Carter Jax.
So kind of theorizing beyond that point. So if the packs become wave based, right?
Sure.
So maybe we haven't seen the Interceptor in an expansion yet because when they plan to release the Interceptor expansion, it's going to come with those extra pilots. But then that's when they're implementing those card packs per wave. So none of the ships that have been planned so far in these waves additionally, where they just re-release shit, they didn't plan on having new pilots, because the ones eventually that are going to come out will have new pilots. They don't want to screw over the conversion kit people, and they'll have card packs with it.
Michael, they only said that for the initial wave 1. Like they weren't going to release pilots, as Ryan was saying. So I don't think they will do that.
Yeah, I think that I mean, if they were gonna have if they were gonna do it that way, Ryan, I really think that they would have already done like added new ones in for 2 and 3 and beyond. Like we would have seen, I don't know, like what just got released, the Z95 and the Striker.
That's what I'm trying to
And
think.
the
Like
Striker.
the ships that we've seen so far weren't ships that had an extraordinary amount of pilots that a lot of people are clamoring for again, right?
Sure.
So maybe
Do you know how much money FFG lost probably on those Strikers and Z95s?
I don't know if they lost.
Yeah.
I mean, 0?
Yeah.
I don't know if they lost money on them. Like there are people who are new getting into the game that don't have a Striker.
Right.
You know how many stores have extra Strikers and Z95s on hand?
Do you attribute that more
not
to
in
like
the Midwest? Like I will tell you this because I flew 4 Strikers at Coruscant, and I bought the last 4 Strikers that were in all of Titan games for like between all 4 of their stores.
When was this?
Right before Coruscant, so October.
Okay, so literally right after 2.0 was introduced.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I mean, and it's Striker and Z95, like those could be more of them out there, right? But there's obviously the ships that you just can't get anymore.
Well,
right?
I mean, my prediction is coming true that I told you they were going to lump a ton of already released ships into each wave. They're only going to have like 2 or 3 new ships. And
but we're also getting double the number of waves.
I can tell you as a starter, it sucks because I'm like, okay, I'll buy 2 of what I already have on my shelf.
Yeah.
Well, what do I do then? I mean, like, you buy the conversion kit, you already have all the cards.
Right.
You're not helping me as a store owner.
Well, yeah, it's just they're trying to they're slow releasing
They're
they're
trying to implement 2.0. I get it. I get it. I'm on both sides of the fence. I'm a store owner and I'm an X-Wing fanatic. I get it. And it makes sense. But man, the more this new wave every 2 weeks is not working.
I mean, I don't know, like a wave a quarter. That's what we were sort of seeing that.
Fine. I'm good with that.
But that's kind of that's what we're getting right now. It's sort of a wave per quarter right now. Like we're not like wave 3 was a quarter 1 release. Wave 4 is going to be a quarter 2 release, and wave 5 is going to be a quarter 3 release. That seems to be what their current schedule. Am I wrong there?
No, that's right.
No, but and then wave 6 will probably be quarter 1. No, it just feels like it's been way faster than that because we had wave 1 and 2 really quickly. Like, because wave 1 was like right at October, and then wave 2 was like in December. Like which first order in that came out like right before January?
Wouldn't you? Because so the 2.0 came out in September, and that's end of quarter 3, right?
Yeah, right.
So
correct.
December is end of quarter 4.
But what you've got to remember is in 1.0 we didn't have 4 waves; we had 2 waves a year. Like we had an additional like mini stuff, but we had 2 waves a year.
Yeah. All right. Enough of this boring bullshit. Farmer.
Hey, dog.
How was celebration, bud?
Oh, it was amazing. I'm so excited. It's in Anaheim next year. I think I'm going to see if my dad can come down for it, and maybe we can party with Papa Farm if you guys are around. But
Anaheim,
dude, it's Anaheim's awesome. Like for celebration,
I don't doubt you. But
so I'm pretty convinced that Anaheim is one of the somewhere in California was going to be their main choice because Galaxy's Edge, the park, it's huge.
Anaheim's literally I super don't want to go to the park the weekend of Star Wars Celebration though. Holy shit! Like God help anybody trying to go to Galaxy's Edge on the weekend of Star Wars Celebration. However,
granted, I'm pretty sure there'll be sweet special events for it, but
however, super smart of them to do that.
Okay.
But yeah,
So-
Celebration, like if you have a chance to go, I always you should go at least once because I had an absolute blast. And I'll say that, so if you're ever wondering how many how should I get a 5-day pass or what should I get? My recommendation is always you can do everything you really need to do, everything you want to do in 2 days, maybe even one. I always get the 5-day to walk around, but a single day is fine. 2 days is ideal. Look at the panels and what you might want to go to, but you can really just see everything and do almost everything in a day or two. And the first day of Celebration, I didn't even walk the exhibit hall. I played the FFG Furball from 1 to 10, and it was super fun.
Nerd.
It was so fun. I haven't
Jesus.
had that much fun playing X-Wing in a minute. Did you hear about how the Furball was formatted, Coach?
I did. Yes.
Yeah.
You lose, you're out. Next guy comes in.
Yeah.
So you get back in line.
Prizes based on kills.
Yeah, and you get back in line. But the coolest thing about it was that first player initiative token that gets passed clockwise every round. So initiative not mattering was the coolest part because you had to strategize.
Huge.
Yeah, you had to strategize all right, this round I'm moving first, but in a couple in 6 more rounds I'll be moving last.
Fuck Vader in his I6, right?
yeah.
But he still had Supernatural. It's fine.
For half of it until Dion got it.
He had it while Farmer had it at least.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Well, then Dion got fucked when he got it next.
Yeah, he did.
Waves nope.
So you can have so many more ships be viable that never were viable in this mode. You can throw Snap Wexley in there and he's super good. Or Jack Porkins is another one.
Sure.
That normally would be not great in the game, but actually ends up being pretty good. Grievous. Oh my god, Grievous was so good when he's not tethered.
When he's not tethered. Okay, I wanna say one thing first of all. If I would have known you motherfuckers are going to Chicago for Star Wars Celebration, I might have postponed my Adepticon.
Well, the tickets were sold out.
And really shown you guys a good time.
The only reason I was able to go is because I bought a ticket on the secondary market. I missed it originally. They'd been sold out. I think they sold out within the first day or two that they released online.
No, it wasn't.
I had to work myself.
It was because they have a lot of tickets for the all 5 days. Because me and a couple friends were looking to go because we're only 4 hours out drive, 4 to 5, and we were kind of keeping an eye on it. And
sure.
Because apparently the last time it was in the U.S. and it was in Florida, it didn't sell out until a month. But then we realized it's the Midwest and it's very centralized in the country, and Chicago O'Hare is a huge ass airport that everyone can go to. So that sold out in a week.
Yeah.
And we didn't plan for the fact that it would sell out that quickly. We kind of estimated based on the last time. And then it was in Florida, but then corner of the country, potentially more expensive and all that. Probably less people think about buying things instantly. But if there's anything learned about the Midwest, get tickets quick.
Yeah, if it's in the Midwest, get them quick because it's gonna go.
Yeah, that's not even sold out. For X-Wing.
What was your favorite part about Celebration?
I mean, watching the trailer live was super, super rad. I got to meet the original designer of the Minoc head. That was really cool. I got to get Captain Rex to record some stuff for us.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was I got in the autograph line.
Hold on. So there was a rumor out there that Shay recorded the.
No,
that's bunk, right?
No, that was a joke. Yeah, no, it's actually Ashley Eckstein that we got at a book signing.
I was gonna say, of all people, I'm pretty sure I can trust Ryan Farmer.
Yeah.
They can't say that about Coach, but I'm pretty sure they can say that about Ryan Farmer.
So now that Ryan Farmer knows how much you trust him, he can really use that to his advantage.
Don't play Secret Hitler with me.
He always knew it from the day I first met him in the FFG bathroom.
Oh man, no better place to meet Coach in the casting couch than in the FFG bathroom.
Place I gotta meet. Yeah, exactly. All right. I want to. Any other things you want? Because I have a topic I want to discuss with you.
Well, my quick question would be to farmers. Out of you three who were there, Steven, Dion, and yourself, who had the craziest reaction to Palpatine's laugh?
Oh, I think we were all just in shock because we weren't entirely. I think we were both freaking out when Ian McDermott came on stage between the first showing and second showing of the trailer, and he said, "Roll it again."
Yeah,
and
because
we
some people didn't know whose laugh that was.
Right.
Then he came out, and you're like, "Oh, it really
yeah, exactly.
is."
I thought it was like I couldn't tell. I was like, "Is that like because it was so loud in there. The first time they play it, it's always really loud. That's why they always play it again.
What?
And like not
was
loud,
loud?
but like reactions, like people are freaking out. So sometimes you miss things, right?
I get that. Yeah. Okay.
And so you play it again like to confirm, and it was, oh man, just it was crazy. Like I am very, very, very excited for 9, but I agree with Tyler. I'm actually more excited about The Mandalorian because I really think that if they get this anthology form or this like long form television Game of Thrones style, like high quality television thing down, Star Wars could really shine there because its roots are in Flash Gordon. So if like you can really get Star Wars television to work, there's a lot you can do, a lot more than maybe necessarily movies for storytelling purposes.
You can tell better stories.
Yeah.
That are more suited to the Star Wars like lore and mythos.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm really excited about The Mandalorian. Plus, like Pedro Pascal is like amazing.
Yeah,
Like,
buddy.
Yeah, it's like what if I had the Viper but a Mandalorian?
Yeah.
And like I said, like I'm actually also really excited for the Cassian Andor. Like I feel like we're gonna have two. Like I can have like this really dark, gritty underbelly of the Empire, like rebellion, like assassins, saboteurs kind of thing with the Cassian Andor, with also Alan Tudyk as K2SO. I mean, holy shit!
Yes.
I
let's go.
know.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
Like
awesome
I'm
to get him
super
back.
fucking in. But then we can flip that. We can have the Mandalorian, which will have, I assume, will have serious moments, but could also be that like, um, like spaghetti western sci-fi like style show. They can have humor and can have, you know what I mean, like that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Honestly, if they wanted like, so Star Wars television's always been like recently, like the kids shows have been pretty top notch, like Clone Wars, Rebels, and Resistance actually isn't bad. Like you just gotta, they have a habit of starting out pretty childish.
It's just
and then,
like Rebels,
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
have to get past the first season.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, you could
have-
honestly just hop in Rebels at the start, or Resistance at the start of the second season, and not really miss that much.
Yeah.
Probably not. Yeah, I've watched a Resistance since the beginning, and like get past the whole, this protagonist is ignorant
Yeah.
and dumb for a bit, and then once we get to the actual conflict, it's great.
Yeah, exactly. It's they're doing a really, really great job. What's the word? Building how the First Order comes to power and like that intrigue between the First Order and the New Republic, and how like the New Republic allowed something like that to happen.
God, I was so trying to make this as less spoilery as possible. But Farmer, you've seen the whole first season, right?
Oh yeah.
So man, I was really happy she chose to, not do the obvious cliche thing and just be like, I'm a good person.
Right. Yeah.
You know what
Totally.
I'm talking about? Like, yeah, I'm way more invested in that character now that she's chosen to like split.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm like super, super invested now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty rad.
All right.
Yep.
You ready?
I'm ready.
This might develop some heated debate. So when Kelly Tran came on, I fucking loved the chant.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Oh man, I got
it.
some words. I got words, but keep going. Yeah.
Hey, you were there. We'd like to hear your words.
But there's a but at the end of that. I don't know if the chant was. It felt like it was motivated because of the consequences that happened because of stupid fanboys.
That's exactly what happened. Like, listen, like no one got shredded more in Last Jedi than poor, like other than maybe Ryan Johnson than Kelly Marie
Ryan
Tran.
Johnson got shredded more.
Like she got so much hate from so many like fucking bullshit fans. Like, I don't know if you
saw
fanboys. Yeah, stupid fanboys. But like as Star Wars Celebration, I think like I had an argument with someone the other day about like how divisive Star Wars is at the moment and how the fan base is divided in two. I don't think the fan base is divided in two. I think most of the fan base is kind of together and there's a loud vocal minority. And I think this is something that bleeds into like other elements of our lives, like politics and stuff,
all
or
of
anything,
life. Yeah.
like video games, like all this, anything. You have a loud vocal minority. And I'm not saying that maybe the who liked and disliked Last Jedi isn't like maybe 50-50. I'm saying that how divisive and like mad people are. Like I don't think half of Star Wars fans boycotted Solo because of Last Jedi. I think Solo didn't do well because it was poorly marketed and kind of mediocre film no one wanted to see.
Yeah, poorly marketed.
It was a great film that everyone watched on DVD.
Well, poorly marketed, badly placed. Like you put it around.
You put it right after Infinity War
and Deadpool 2.
Yeah, it was not in a good spot.
It was bad.
Like it's really nice to see, and it wasn't just that there either. There was she came out later for Star Wars show as well.
I saw that as well.
And
I saw that as well. And they all chanted Kelly.
Yeah.
Kelly,
and she was like, you could tell she's choked up because
she cried. She literally cried.
These fans at Celebration, I don't want to like say who's a real Star Wars fan and who's not, but like if you're gonna go onto Instagram and talk shit about her, saying that she's like the worst actress ever and like a giant piece of shit and she should kill herself, like you're not a real Star Wars fan. I'm sorry.
Well, like she's just a shitty person in general. Like, I mean, this happens everywhere too, right? Like, like you said, it is the vocal minority, right? Because it's like 90% of people that are on the internet don't post on things, right?
Exactly.
Like they don't actually post comments. They're just there to like they go watch the YouTube video and then they leave. Like, cool, no big deal, right? Mm-hmm. But like it's that 10%, and then you have the 1% of that actually like hates it. Like, guess what? Like, I didn't like the character of Rose in Last Jedi. Okay, cool. I don't have any problem with the actress that played. Like, I didn't think she did a shitty job playing the character. I just didn't like the character. That's not like I don't like fucking Joffrey in Game of Thrones. Like,
yeah, but
I don't hate the kid, right? Yeah. Like, what? There's no, and like that's always blown my mind that someone can be like, oh no, I hate this person. They did a shitty job because I like this franchise and he killed that franchise. Like, if you're mad at anyone, you have to be mad at the director. The director told him to do that.
Directors, like, listen, writers, whatever.
You guys know that like Last Jedi is my hill, right? Like I die, but like my hill.
Yeah,
my
we
hill,
all know that.
But like again, I always have to reiterate this to people. My hill isn't like that you should love Last Jedi. It's never been that. Like I love Last Jedi, but like that's my opinion is not your opinion. My hill is that I hate people that just because they don't like it say it's objectively a terribly made film, which
should be abandoned,
which is not
never, you know, it's dumb.
I mean, it's the same thing that everybody that says that the guy that was the actor Hayden Christensen was a terrible Anakin. No, he was a fine Anakin. He was directed to like play it in a fucking terrible manner.
Oh my god!
And he had a shit script to work with.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't mean the guy's a bad actor though.
Mm-hmm. Did you see my Star Wars as Pizza comic I did today, Coach?
I saw that.
I didn't see it. No.
Oh, here I'll send it to you because
I've got it. I just haven't seen it yet.
It's just super relevant.
I have things going on in my life.
No, I'm sure you do. It's just Tyler, or who joked earlier, like, what do I even do? Like, what is even my job? Like, it's just
which is hilarious because we had this conversation today in Discord.
We had it earlier today. And I think Chris said the higher up I get in my job, the more bullshit time I have. And honestly, like, no joke, man.
I just when I made it a point to watch Star Wars Celebration live.
Yeah,
like 100,000 other people with me. And when she came on stage, I had like dual, you know, there was good Aaron and bad Aaron, good coach, bad coach.
Light side, dark
good
side.
Coach going, you know what? Fucking A. Good for her. I am so proud of all of those fans going, you know what? You shouldn't have been treated like that. Blah, you know. You did the job you were supposed to do, and you did it to the best of your abilities. And the bad coach was like, yeah, but the crowd shouldn't be cheering for a almost non-character. And I was conflicted, but at the same time, what overcame it was she should have never been rejected
In the first
what
place.
she did.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Pe-
ever, never.
Some
And
crazy
you know what?
fans don't know
Even
how
if
to
she-
split a
even if
real
she was
person
a-
from a character.
Yeah, even if she was an almost nothing character, which again, I wish she was a better. I wish the writing, whatever. That's a whole nother story. But I'm glad. I was super fucking proud of all those nerds that went, you know what? We want you in this series. We can't wait to see you in the next movie. We love where it's going to go from now. But I get it. I get where people are even like, "Oh my god, why are they going over the top on this?" And those are the 2% that just like, can you please remove yourself from your uber fandom and just appreciate that this is a woman and she poured her heart out into this role, however badly or misdirected she still did her job.
Yeah.
You know, she was there. She did her job. She did what she was told to do, and she did the best she could. And I think if it was just either better writing or better directing, I tell you what, in episode 9, she's gonna shine. She is gonna fucking shine like you can't believe. She's gonna be a great character.
Well, I think it'll be interesting because JJ won't have another character to rehash her through, so he'll have to like figure out a new character.
Yeah. Carrie Russell exit stage. You know, it's
listen, I think that 9's just going to be super safe. Like the Star Wars that people want, the Star Wars that people like a lot of people say, like I just want this to feel Star Wars. I have no doubt episode 9 will super feel Star Wars, whatever that means to people. But then I think in retrospect, when you look back on it, it'll be like one of those things where 9 might be like, there are people whose episode 8 is their favorite film. Then I don't think 9 is the kind of film that will ever be like someone's favorite. I don't think that 7's the kind of film that'll be someone's favorite unless like we get into the future and you have like, there are young kids right now that are growing up with the sequel trilogy and these will be their favorite films because of the nostalgia. Like those kids that grew up with the prequel trilogies are like on the internet and adults now. And that's why the prequels are having sort of a renaissance at this time, because you have these kids that are like, I grew up with the prequels and they're like, I like this. Stop shitting on this.
You keep saying kids. You mean Chris Allen.
I mean, technically just us.
Well, I mean, maybe even a little like young, maybe like I think I was in maybe middle school or high school.
You were middle school, like, because I was
the Sith came out?
eighth grade when the first one came out, I think.
I'm saying middle school when Revenge of the Sith finished. So yeah,
that was.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm a 1990 born, so
I'm
like
1991. So yeah.
So like I was 9 when episode 1 came out. So you were 8.
Right.
Yeah. So like I grew up with the prequels too, but like
you guys don't even remember watching Empire Strikes Back on VHS, do you?
No, I do.
Oh,
I do.
Man.
When I was
on VHS?
On VHS.
Yes.
We've had this discussion, Coach. I opened my dad's VHS tape.
That's right, you did.
I had the special editions came out in 97, right?
No, we don't consider it special edition. Original.
All right. I'm just saying, like, for me, my Star Wars began with the quote unquote special editions on VHS. I had the gold.
That's legit. Then
USA. Indeed.
I had the golden box.
Yep.
Like they had the little sleeve it pulled out.
I bought that too.
It had Vader on the outside, and I remember them. I watched them so much that the Empire Strikes Back tape like stripped, and my dad had to like respin it for me. And those special editions, they had like the opening little things like before it rolled, like the special features of like what was changed. And I remember loving those. And like, that's how I got into Star Wars, were when they released those special editions, which I still think, despite a lot of like issues with the special editions, right? People not liking that Lucas changed things. The fact that they released them was a major boon for Star Wars. Like there was that span in the 90s
it had to happen.
Historically, where Star Wars had a little bit of a renaissance. Like They had tons of toys come out. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so like I mean, so yeah, I'm a few years older than both Ryan and Ryan.
Sure.
But like, so I distinctly remember because like, I mean, I want to say first time I watched Star Wars was I was like 6 or something like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I always remember Star Wars, and you could like question whether like you should show a 6-year-old Star Wars, but I should also point out that like
It's fine.
my parents used to play cards with another couple that I'm still good friends with to this day and whatnot, but they would like put me in front of Willow at like 3 and I would watch all 3 fucking hours of Willow and then like go to sleep or whatnot. And I go back and I watched Willow at like 19 and I'm like, the fuck were you people doing? Like how, and I own a large black dog that looks like a wolf. I have no concept that how I don't just shit myself when I see a wolf. Because they had those wargs chasing, like, I mean, just like, why? Sure, whatever. So, like, but I distinctly remember, like, being in school, like, you know, 1st through, like, 5th grade, and it was like, I knew what Star Wars was, and, like, one random girl knew what Star Wars was. She was, like, the weird Star Wars girl that, like, wanted to be Leia. And then there was, like, 3 other of my friends that kind of knew, but, like, nobody else knew what Star Wars was. Like, oh, have you ever seen Star Wars? That's great. They're like, what are you talking about? What's Star Wars? Right? Because it was just like you were saying, there was just this big drought until, you know, like 99, at which point I was, what, 8th grade, I think, in 99. So,
Yeah, so
I'm super glad I didn't grow up in your guys' age.
My first Star Wars was a VHS set. Came with 3.
Yep.
I don't think it was the same as Farmer's though. Mine, I don't know if it was the one just before.
It was a silver one.
This one had the like beginning part had a small interview like with I forgot who the name, but it was an interview with George Lucas before each episode.
Yeah. That's the same one. Yeah.
Oh, is it the same one? Okay.
Yep. Yeah. And like he would talk about all kinds of like the things he was
I always remember
stuff.
as a kid I just wanted to like skip over those, but like I really want to like go back and like find a VHS to watch those because I feel like there's some great stuff in there that I
find
missed.
them on YouTube. Don't burden yourself with finding a VHS player.
Yeah, well, like I'm pretty sure I go to my parents' house, like they have the VHS is still in there, and I wonder how much money they are, and I probably wouldn't sell them anyway.
All right, I think we've covered all of Celebration. I have 2 questions. One, what are we going to do without a world of crates?
No, they haven't done a cast in a month.
I don't think they're. And this is directly to me because I was supposed to be their next guest, and they just don't put out anything. I'm like,
no, I mean, so like,
did I break them or?
No, it's just real life. Like, Chris is buying a house, and so he's just been busy buying a house with stuff.
Yeah.
And I forget. Like Nami's getting ready to move too, and like
he's
Travis, you know,
or something.
yeah.
No, I get that.
You know, they're just kind of like, we don't really want to like yell into the void, like whatever. We could yell about Fat Han too, but we don't really need to. Everyone else already is. So
shout out to Chris Chico Brown because I didn't think it was possible, but on the way to Adepticon, I was looking at something on the Crates or Facebook page, and then all of a sudden I'm like, no, you're not allowed.
Oh, geez, and then all of a sudden, about the snap.
Yeah, the snap. And then all of a sudden this organized play fan club starts, and then I'm like, this just looks like Crate 2.0. Am I wrong?
No, it's the same page because he didn't snap everybody. There was like 25 people still left in it.
There was 40 people left.
Yeah, it was 40 after, sure. And so like I missed it happening because like I said, I was moving furniture. So like I wasn't online all day Thursday. And then I
was literally there. I was like, and then of course I had Chico and I was like, Chico, what happened? He's like, oh, I removed everyone. I went, oh my God.
Beautiful.
Well, so not only did I not know what was happened, but I didn't hear about it until Friday, and then I knocked Chico out. I was his he played me in round 6 when we were both 4-1.
Oh,
and so it's like, so I posted like, oh, I'm playing Chico, and everybody in our Discord's going like, Thanos Slayer, save us. I was like, what the fuck are you people talking about?
Oh, that was good. Shit. I forgot about the other thing I was going to talk about.
By the way,
Oh, yeah, I remember. It seems like I'm highly wanted on My Night Squadron podcast again.
are you highly wanted? Is that what the fans want? How about this, Coach? I'll put up a poll, and if more people say yes than no, you can come back on.
That's all I ask.
Better be
So now,
careful.
very, very
Send it-
important on that poll. Does he have to also beat out the Sunterfell option?
Yes.
Oh, you're fucked,
Oh,
son. It's
fuck,
never gonna happen.
Damn it, Tyler. You got
Hey,
me.
if you have been paying attention, I have been very, very good ever
You have
since
been.
your episode.
You have been.
ever since that episode.
You know what, Coach? Come to my casting couch and we'll have a talk.
Jesus.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus.
You know.
Come to Moisture's casting couch. And
The smells.
the smell.
No, I'd love to be back on the show because, man, did I fuck up the last one.
It's okay. Everyone gets drunk.
Dude, there were so many people that are like, I don't know what's wrong with I love that episode. I'm
There
like,
are
are you
no joke.
serious?
There's no
Like,
joke.
I even listened to that episode. I only made it like 20 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god, shut this guy up.
Every
the
generation
fuck?
has a legend.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
After a while, I was like, man, Coach, you really should stop interrupting them.
It was so bad.
It's okay.
No,
Ryan.
it wasn't. It was bad.
Ryan, I
But-
put in the chat the 3 VHS intro.
I
they
saw.
found on
Thank you.
YouTube.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
They're
it.
actually super neat. So they're only like 5 minutes each. So, Coach,
Yeah.
you should take a look at them. It's actually really, really, really interesting to see like the minor changes that they made, and they even like the trench run like Death Star approach scene that we know of today, that we think of, like how dynamic and like cool like some of the dogfighting is. That wasn't in the original version. If you watch the original version dogfighting of the Death Star, it's actually kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Like it's super
not that
slow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, there's definitely some good stuff that people
Does
have
it-
noted.
Does it make me feel old that I know exactly?
Yeah. No,
what-
it's fine. It's
what
just
was
like,
different?
it's like some like people seem to like not they know like the very specific things, like they shouldn't have changed that, they ruined Star Wars, but there are lots of like very 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 little things that got tweaked that are like that immersed you more that you don't notice. Like they've adjusted some Cloud City like matte paintings to show off more of the city, and like certain other things. Like it's interesting.
So one of
Yeah.
my favorite Star Wars stories ever was we were sixth grade, fifth or sixth grade when the re-releases came out. Yeah, something like that. And we got out of school early. I don't know why, but one of my friends' mothers drove us to the movie theater, and so we're watching the film, and it's New Hope,
Right.
and Vader comes on, and my buddy next to me stands up and is like, who the hell is that guy?
Jesus.
The whole fucking theater just erupts in laughter. And I was like, oh my god. But yeah, I was middle school when the special edition released in theaters.
It sounds so like you.
We were geeked the fuck out. I mean, it was like, but then we weren't. It was like episode 8 all over again. We're like, well, that looks stupid. Why did you do the like when they go into Tatooine and they're on the fucking
Yeah.
hoverbike, and then they made that scene where it's like it's not necessary, but they got the little animals bouncing and we're like, that's stupid. And they go through. I've been a conflicted Star Wars fan my entire life. I was raised with the originals, and then I had the special edition, and then I had the prequels, and then I had this. Oh, the prequels. That's what it was. Fuck.
Here we are.
Whatever.
Oh,
All right.
prequels.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is going to conclude our broadcast.
Anchovy
Thank-
barbecue pizza.
And anchovy barbecue pizza. I'm assuming that references something to Ryan Farmer's Minox Squadron cheese to order pizza. Whatever.
Gross.
I don't know.
Cool.
No one wants
Farmer,
Minox pizza.
I'm personally disgusted at the fact that we don't have a picture together.
You know, I'm pretty sure we do somewhere. We just need to
I
find
really
it.
don't think we do.
We've got to deep dive it. There's no way there wasn't like best part of X-Wing with the two of you. in
No,
there.
I legit don't think we do.
You know what I'll do? I will Photoshop a picture of the two of us together.
Ah,
I'm not. Hey, for the 100th episode, I'm not taking photoshops. I'm taking straight up real life.
Real life.
well, what episode is this?
The 100th episode.
No. What one are we on now?
97.
I do not. I'm not.
96 or 97.
Yeah, I'm not going to see you in 3 weeks. That's
I'm not gonna-
I was like, just do it at Gen Con and force Farmer to come.
Yeah, I will. I'll do my best to go. I really,
Dude,
really want to go.
You have to
Gen Con.
come because how are we going to be in the FFG line to buy shit and then get interviewed again by random people and then
Oh, that
have
was
everyone?
so dope.
Hey, yeah. By the way, Farmer, I like my Gen Con group literally got cut in half.
Oh yeah.
So I have a buddy of mine that lives like 6 blocks away from, well, maybe not 6 blocks, but it's a 5-minute Uber ride to,
Yeah.
and man, we're looking to fill. He's got a second bedroom and a bunch of couches.
Dude, I'm
and-
so in. Like, if I can, like, just I don't need a lot of space. Like, I literally, like, I slept on Dion's floor in his
Hey.
casting room.
It's gonna cost you $100.
That's easy peasy.
Yeah.
Wait,
All right.
for the whole weekend?
Yes, for the whole weekend.
Oh,
I'm in, dog. Sign me up.
All right.
I think I can only do Friday, Saturday, Sunday though. I don't think I can do 2 days off for that.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at Airbnb prices.
I'm charging $100 anyway.
No. That's fine. Like, I don't give a shit.
No, you'll be fine.
I was just letting you know. Like, I don't know how long Gen Con is, but I can't do like.
It's just Thursday to Sunday.
It's
Yeah. Okay. As long as
There's-
X-Wing isn't on Thursday, and I'm actually seeing if I can, like, I might want to try and judge as
Farmer,
well.
you have your ticket. Like, you don't need to go. Like, if X-Wing's on Thursday, you're just like, oh, guess I'm doing something else.
Well, I
Play
mean, I get
Battletech.
Yeah.
it's the loot if it's like not a system open.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Like, if it's
That might make me want to play.
yeah, if
more
it's not a
so.
system open, then I will. But if it's a system open, screw it. I'm just gonna go Gen Con and have a good
No,
time.
it's not.
So
it's,
I-
it's the Nationals.
It was
They're going to be different
originally
prizes.
it was originally flagged as system open, but
Yeah.
then when they brought Alex Watkins on to be the OP lead, and then they changed it all back to like the Prime is now regional,
Right.
the Grand
yeah.
is this, the bet
Yeah,
it's
this is
back
a
to
champion or
it's
whatever
back
it
to
is.
Continental, whatever they named it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There you go.
So the other thing is when we go to Gen Con, I'd love to have you guys demo my board game I've been working on.
Oh
That,
yeah,
Whoa.
Yeah, that'd be
I'm in.
Yeah. So I've been working for a few
Like,
weeks,
is this
a few months
legit?
on that.
Like,
No, this is like this is super. This is something like I'm legitimately seriously working on. Is like a
oh,
board game.
I mean, like you have a booth and everything, or
no, not yet.
Okay.
He has a
hopefully.
prototype that he'll bring.
I have a legit like I've got a prototype and like I just am working on commissioning artists and like
Oh, I'm
it's-
all in.
yeah, it's I'm really excited about it.
We're all. Is it a miniature game or is it a board
It's
game?
It's like there might be miniatures involved, but it's a cooperative strategy game where you work with your friends to like fight a monster. Like it's
Okay.
like a
Like Dungeon Boss.
kind of like an MMO raid in like board game form.
Oh,
So like
all right.
the monster has like fronts and flanks and backs, and you each have a
Mhm.
character with abilities like and it's stuff.
Have you played the Dark Souls board game?
Yes, I have. It's
That-
a little
It
different. than
sounds a
that,
little
yeah.
like it's at least some of the mechanics you're talking about sound a little
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, it's similar, but I think the what's the word? I like the way
You work it.
I like the way the characters in my game interact a little more than the Dark Souls board game. Plus, the only good part about the Dark Souls board game is the boss fights. Like getting up to them is such a chore.
Yeah.
Well, figure on booking a airplane ticket to Indianapolis. for Gen Con.
Indianapolis. Oof.
You got a place to stay.
Rad. When do those tickets go on sale? Soon, right?
Well,
the badges are already on sale now,
get-
but the
get
event registration isn't up till May 19th.
May.
When
Yeah.
so
right.
May 19th is when you got to pay attention to like actually registering for events.
Yeah, that's when I will. I'll take a look.
Yeah.
Then you can experience the full OCX.
God, you guys can get me so drunk. It'll be fun. Drunk
Yes,
farmers. Is a good
probably.
time. It's
That
rare.
will
but
happen a
it's
couple
a
of
good time.
times.
Rad.
Man, what? Shit. When is Gen Con? Is it end of August?
1st August.
Jesus.
First weekend.
God, my fucking
don't
August.
go Jesus.
Well, no,
You're-
because the fucking
Ooh.
European Nationals is like August 19th.
Yeah,
You
I
gonna
know.
fly to
Like,
Europe?
I'm going to Australia the last weekend of August / first weekend in September. That's why I absolutely can only take a single
one day,
one day
yeah.
off. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Like-
already if I go to Poland, it's already I have to burn a week of unpaid.
I have to burn a week of unpaid for Australia.
I can't wait till you motherfuckers get married and start having kids.
I'm married.
It's gonna be awesome.
All right, why do you think I'm doing this shit now, coach?
right?
Exactly. Exactly.
This is all
And I don't
happening
even know if-
before. All happening
I'll be
before
the
me and my
fucking
wife have
host
kids.
of Minox Squadron podcast.
I don't even know if I'll have kids either. Like who even
Right?
knows? Like, maybe I'll just get married and like we can use all of the kid money on like things we want to do.
Right?
No,
At that point, why are
I
you even
want
getting
little
married?
farmers. I want little farmers.
Tax breaks.
I
Yes.
mean, only if she has a shitty job.
That's true. If she has a good job, maybe we'll
Like-
just be like life partners.
Like, if Trisha and I get married, we're like, oh, cool, we pay more in taxes? This seems terrible. Why would
That's
we do
also
this?
fair. I guess if you're not having kids, then just don't get
Right?
married.
Like,
Yeah, you got to pop them out.
Like-
ugh.
I could still like I could do. It's like, will you not marry me and give her like a really nice ring and just say?
Oh
you're married?
yeah. Yeah,
Just
no, well,
have it
no,
be
but
fine.
like, I mean, you can make a promise to someone and a commitment
Sure.
to someone.
Whoa,
I've never
guys, definitely get married. Oh man,
Oh,
the
Jesus,
tax. No.
Ow.
Mm.
You're talking to a statistician. I promise, if I get married, we get fucked.
Oh, you
Uh,
don't have kids though, do you?
Well,
No,
yeah, well, that's
correct.
the thing. That's what we're talking about. If you don't have kids, like getting
Yeah.
married is kind of stupid. If you both
Yeah,
Well,
have
have
I,
kids.
and like, if you have kids, it's still like not a good idea because
A bit of a
free
toss-up.
insurance. Like,
Oh, they just upped it another 1,000. I'm getting 4. I'm getting an extra 2 for my 2 hellions.
well, but I mean, they cost more than that. I promise.
Oh, yeah.
It's a net loss. It's not a win.
It's a nice birthday present for a bit like,
Fair.
hey, you know that all pain and suffering you've had all fucking year?
Yo, but look,
All right,
remember,
guys.
like I was
Couple
saying,
extra $1,000.
I gotta
I've,
bounce. I gotta bounce.
Everybody's bouncing. We're all taking
Yeah.
off.
good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everyone.
Goodbye. Love
What
you
a
all.